I remember that. We sold like 100,000 pay-per-view buys for this fight and basically sold out the MGM Grand. It was the first time that we felt like we might not go totally bankrupt with this fucking thing.
Yeah, except now when you tell the story of the UFC, it was all you and Lorenzo, bringing it back from the brink of death with your brilliant business ideas. How easy is it to forget about stupid little Tito and his stupid fucking t-shirts that he made at the mall?
Oh, he's out here kicking your ass, though.
Hey, I slipped. And also the sun was in my eyes. And goddammit, I'm not even really Ken Shamrock, just a ghost assuming his form.
So why is the vein in your neck bulging like that?
You know what? I'm trying to show you something here, but that's fine. You don't want to listen? I'll take you back. Let's see if you like the next ghost any better. Now come on, caress my hand as you interlace your fingers with mine.
What up, everybody, and welcome back to yet another Sound of Violence podcast, our final Sound of Violence podcast of 2017. I am Pulver, and I am here with my co-host, Chris Madaffer. What up, dog?
That was a very loud crackle.
That's right. I cracked open. Shout out to our sponsor this week, Cutwater's Black Skimmer Whiskey Lemon Tea. I'm going to go and try this.
Their Black Skimmer bourbon mixed with lemon tea flavor, I think it's fucking great.
That's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, you've heard us try the vodka mule. God. We've had the Bloody Mary on here. We've just about had everything.
So good.
We've had the rum and coke. We've had the ginger.
The rum and coke's all right. The ginger and rum is real.
Just don't
really
smell
true.
it. But
no, because you'll cough.
Yeah,
it's aggressive ginger.
Yeah, this is pretty fire, huh?
Dude, this is fantastic.
Don't get me wrong. I was gonna get the whiskey highball, but it's 10%. I'm like,
ooh, I'm gonna have to look into that for the future.
It's there at par.
All right. Well, I know what I'm doing. Shouts out to my local liquor store, Par Liquor. If you're ever in San Diego, go to Par Liquor. It's goddamn fantastic. Let's see. Yeah, so you've had the actual Black Skimmer rum before from Cutwater,
bourbon,
right?
Yeah. It's fucking great. It's like comparable to the Devil Share. That's like their high end. If you get their bourbon, I know batch 1 is like $150.
Yep.
Respectively, but I think the regular stuff is about $100 even. Which, yes, that's expensive.
Super, but yeah.
So the Black Skimmer, it runs at about 45 to 50.
That's not too bad.
It's basically their, I don't want to insult them and call it their affordable version, but it's a different style of bourbon that they do.
Well, it's less aged, I'm sure, yeah.
And it's still very good. I liked it a lot. And
I'm
glad they're putting it in their drinks, and it's cool that they're doing that. So
I like all of Cutwater's stuff. If you guys don't know, Cutwater is just Ballast Point, or it used to be Ballast Point.
OG Ballast Point, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually Ballast Point, whereas New Ballast Point is fucking AB InBev or something, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Or I guess they're not owned by Budweiser. They're owned by...
no, it's like the Corona group, right?
Is it Corona?
I think it was Corona.
Do they...
That super group that bought them.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You're right. I think you're right on that. But yeah.
It was a group of Mexican beer connoisseur guys that owned a bunch of Mexican beers.
That makes sense. They're not the same guys who own Modelo, are they?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure Modelo is this guy.
They're their own thing too. Yeah. Because that would be amazing. Imagine if Modelo owned them. The UFC brought to you by Ballast Point Sculpin.
Hey, speaking of podcasts brought to you by Ballast Point, shouts out to the MMA Roadshow.
Right, yeah.
We'll tie it back in. So we are not a booze podcast, despite my best efforts every week. We are an MMA podcast. Each week. Well, we're an MMA podcast about MMA podcasts, I should clarify. Each week we go through and give our picks for a podcast a podcast you should catch, podcast you should skip, and a podcast you can't miss, as well as we cover some new MMA podcasts that are new to us. And yeah, not a super busy week in MMA podcasts, which doesn't surprise me. It's always a weird week. Like, there's always a big card and everyone wants to cover it, but no one wants to record this week. So everyone just like either records ahead of time or they do a short episode, or I feel like there wasn't a ton
I think
of
a lot of
shows
people,
that came out.
including myself, I was hungover 3 days in a row leading up to Christmas. I was
like a professional.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Christmas was Monday. So that was great because I didn't work any of those days. So I was like, fuck it.
That's a good reason.
Had a bunch of holiday, Christmas ales, all that stuff. But
nice.
Yeah, I think the reason why there wasn't that many podcasts was people were kind of strung out. And whether you got money for Christmas or any of the other holidays, Hanukkah, all that. Yeah, I think people were just like, I'm tired, Let's let the new year come.
For sure. And although there was a decent amount of content, but not nearly as much as I normally feel like I see popping up. So we will go ahead and jump into format. Oh, well, we should shout out our other sponsors who will come up later in this episode. First off, shouts out to the goddamn... What's the name of that goddamn gym in Sydney? Kangaroos MMA.
Kangaroos MMA, the
That's
Judo
right.
Bill Tyler.
That's right. And Judo Bill Tyler will come up again in this episode because talked to him actually on MMA Tycoon the Game. And good God, was there a podcast that people should skip this week? So, we will get into format. So, Chris, why don't you start us off with the podcast you think people should catch this week?
There's a little disclaimer.
You said you did listen to a ton,
I listened to
right?
like 3 actual podcasts.
I mean, there wasn't a lot. There was you listened to like 3.5. Well, you saw like 3 2/2.
Definitely catch this. Disclaimer, it's only 30 minutes, and it's their own scripted show, which they never do.
Yep.
And I can't remember they do mention a lot of MMA stuff, but it's in the theme of the story of Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens' own.
Yep.
It was great. I listened to about, honestly,
you should say
half
what
of
podcast it was.
Yeah, I will get to that now. It is Co-Main Event.
There we go.
Their Christmas podcast.
Yeah, it's the Co-Main Event Christmas Spectacular, and I will go ahead and say right now, this is my can't miss for this week. It was fucking fantastic.
Yeah. To be fair, I listened to 10 minutes of it, and then I kind of paused it, and I was like, oh, wait, it's still in my internet browser, so I'm going to have to finish listening to that.
It gets way better. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'll
say this.
Even in my notes, I didn't write down spoilers, because it's so fucking good, and it's only 30 minutes. People should super check this out.
I'll say this. Has it been confirmed that Sir Nigel just might be Chad Dundas?
We keep talking about this.
I know, because it's weird, because the guy, remember that intros him, it doesn't sound like Chad at all, and it kind of sounds like it'd be Sir Nigel, but there was points when Sir Nigel was talking, and it literally sounded like Chad. So, I think it's him. Because when they talk off each other, it's never like...
They never overlap.
Yeah.
Ever. I've never heard them overlap.
Never.
That could be very good timing.
Yeah. No, but that's both. There's no way. That's way too much of a coincidence.
But also it does sound like Chad, but also it doesn't sound like Chad. I've adopted the theory that I'm just not going to. Sir Nigel is his own man. Yeah.
Well, because I remember I looked this up too, and people have talked about
he's
it. No,
Chad's
people have
gay
talked
alter
about
ego.
it. No, people have talked about it on forums, and I think someone said it's actually like just their buddy that comes on.
That's what I've heard.
They'll never tell you who it is. It's just like
it's just like a family friend.
It's
or
like
whatever,
G6
that lives there.
and you've never said G6 real name ever.
No, I definitely haven't said G6 real name.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm sure I have. I have so many times, but I'm sure I slipped on editing. I'm sure I slipped on editing at some point. Yeah, shouts out to that. I mean, I had to because we can't talk about the amount of drugs and planes he's involved with.
Yeah.
And I don't mean smuggling either. I mean the good old fashioned kind where you enjoy
he's
stuff.
not the lion from Narcos for anyone who's thinking of that.
No. He's more like the what's his face's character in Blow. The fucking
Boston Reed.
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Boston Reed.
I was thinking Bobcat Goldthwait.
Wasn't his name Boston Reed? Or Boston George? There's a guy in Blow. What's his name? Boston something.
Sure.
He's the guy who drives a plane.
I don't remember that movie apart from 8 scenes, even though I've seen it 15 times.
Anyways, that's not important.
Yeah, we're not talking. This is not a movie podcast. If you want a movie podcast, go check out The Film Vault with Anderson Cowan and Brian Bishop. That's a good podcast. But for our My Can't Miss, Your Catch, Co-Main Christmas is fucking great. We should tell people the premise is so it opens with Chad walking in and saying to Ben and Sir Nigel, why the fuck are you in my house getting drunk watching the movie Scrooged? Ben...
Was that the Bill Murray movie, right?
Yeah. And Ben then announces that he wrote an MMA Christmas Carol script that they're going to have to... that he's making Chad and Sir Nigel do. And it just kind of devolves from there. I honestly don't want to give away too much. We have a clip that you guys will hear in a minute. Actually, on the next break, I believe, is when we have that clip. It's fucking crazy. Or actually, was that first? Where's my notes? Yeah, you already heard the clip. It was on the intro. of just the fucking chaos. And actually, since you heard the intro, you were aware that essentially for this, it's just Christmas Carol, but it's MMA, the ghost of, well, I want to say the ghost of MMA past, but it's like the ghost of MMA past embodying fighters.
Yeah.
Which turns into like a weird bit later on that I really don't want to ruin. But it's fucking great. It's just, if you've ever read the co-main event newsletter that you can sign up for, and I heard it's pretty easy to unsubscribe. It's very similar writing to the way he writes that, and it's fucking hilarious. Sage is a little kid with the crutch. Timmy, I forget what the name of the kid is in Christmas Carol.
Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim. Thank
Sage,
you.
that's right. Yeah, I was like, that's clearly...
Sage was Tiny Tim, which was great.
Makes sense.
Lorenzo shows up as the brother who is saying that he's going to see the 3 ghosts.
Yeah.
Which is great. Fucking the ghost of MMA Christmas Past shows up in the form of Ken Shamrock. Which is goddamn fantastic. Let's see. The interim ghost of MMA Present shows up, which is CM Punk, a.k.a. Cum Punk, as Sir Nigel keeps calling him. And I won't say any more about where this goes other than the ghost of MMA Future is in the form of Ken Shamrock the Replicant. So I'll just leave that there.
I thought they'd go Frank.
No, yeah. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing they did, and it's fucking fantastic. I also saw Sir Nigel saying that people should be drunk when they listen on Twitter. I also saw, oh man, it's fantastic. Definitely, my can't miss, and you're a good reason for your catch. It may very well have been your can't miss if you would have caught the last half of it. So, fucking cool, man. I guess I should. Well, actually, we both just did one. How are we gonna do this now? I guess I'll go with my catch.
Yeah. Go for it.
So my catch, you actually heard a bit of, which is the Between Rounds Roundtable for UFC 219.
Yeah.
If you guys do not know, the Sherdog Roundtable is no longer on Sherdog, because essentially Sherdog, as we talked about previously, they're cutting down to like 1 episode a week of just like TJ and Mike Fridley talking about MMA barely. So instead, the TJ DeSantis's Between Rounds podcast, or Between Rounds Patreon page rather, is now going to host all of the roundtables. It's a killer fucking panel. It's TJ DeSantis, Jeff Sherwood, Jordan Breen, and Luca Fury. Which, regardless of how you feel about Luca Fury, it's always interesting to hear him on the panel, especially since he was an old like Sherdog paid intern and stuff. So he's been around for a while, and they always joke with him. It's pretty fun. They open talking a bit about how the card's kind of lackluster, and then they go through and they discuss how every fight's a solid matchup. They don't cover the prelims in this anymore, or if they do, it's like extremely briefly they'll mention the prelims.
Yeah.
But they do have a new thing where with the sweet Patreon money, TJ is offering $100 for whoever gets the most picks right for each podcast. So
are you gonna try up on that?
No. I mean, it's just like a host that he hangs out with. And so the way that he does points is 3 points for the winner, 2 points for the method, and 1 point for the round if you get the method right also. Which is pretty cool. And they cover the main card, and it means that Jeff Sherwood might do a little bit of research so he doesn't have to fucking drive Uber and have people throw up and almost get shot in a gas station parking lot. But yeah, just a fun fucking episode. It's super verbose. Jordan Breen talking about everything. Just always one of my favorites, and I'm sure people must get furious about that shit. Because Jordan just will ramble, and if you don't like Jordan rambling, I bet you hate that show. But I love Jordan rambling. The Jordan Breen Show is my jam. I had it on my top 10, which I almost tried to sneak into our show top 10. I should post my actual top 10 at some point. Maybe you should too.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just it's fucking great. It's cool hearing all of them break stuff down. At one point, TJ says the line, I watched the prelims like I watched the last 3 seasons of Weeds, just because I was already been there too long to not do it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was
you
like
already committed long enough.
Yeah. I thought that was a hilarious.
For people who like the show Dexter.
Yeah, or Dexter is a perfect one.
Because
I checked out exactly what Joe Rogan did when John Lithgow hit that shitty rear naked choke in the tub, and I was like, this season was already awful, and that's a garbage ending. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like I died. That show died when the mom died. As far as
that just goes to show, not to go off topic, like I have already done earlier this our episode here. When TV shows are already in their prime, stop like Breaking Bad did. Stop when you're already at the top.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. No, like that's it.
Or just be It's Always Sunny and be consistent as fuck.
Yeah.
Even if you aren't as good as you used to be.
Even though Danny DeVito and Glenn Howerton are not back next season, which
really?
Yeah, you know that they're both.
No.
Yeah. So now the season 12 is just gonna be D.
They're on season 12.
Yeah, it's gonna just be D, Charlie, and
See,
I
probably
That's
should
it. Yeah,
not.
like what the fuck? Like what are they gonna do? Like I get it because in real life, you know, Rob McElhaney and Caitlin Olsen are husband and wife. Like I get that. They'll always do the show, and of course everyone loves Charlie. Charlie.
I'm sure
Day.
Waitress will still be in it. Since
because that's
Charlie's
Charlie
married
Day's.
to her, yeah.
So. But yeah, they lost Glenn Howerton, but I think he's actually going back into theater acting because that's what he grew up. He actually went to fucking Juilliard.
Yeah,
like, he should
he's
be
like
really,
fucking Paul Felder on gay steroids.
Oh no, he literally should just be like a Hollywood actor.
Yeah,
like,
he's great. He's legitimately good.
Yeah.
But I actually haven't seen that show since the Rumham season. Wait, was the Rumham season the one that ended at
I think
the?
it was like season 8 or 9.
No, you know what? I saw like right before Chuck and all those dudes started showing up on that show. Like I stopped it like maybe a couple weeks before all the fighters started showing up. 8 or 9,
yeah. Yeah,
right around there. But anyway, off topic. Yeah, it's just a great episode of Between Rounds. Bryn makes some sweet points about how Magny's fight with Condit's kind of like the canary in the coal mine for where Condit's at.
Yeah, that's right.
Just because, like, if he gets fucked up by Magny pretty bad, like, that's
it's kind of like, maybe you should have stayed retired.
Yeah. And for people who listen to Luca Fury's podcast, you're not going to be surprised by the announcement I'm going to mention later, but he gives super similar picks to what he did on his show as well. So, if you're, like, thinking, oh, maybe Luca will have a different take on that, from what I heard, he doesn't really. Which makes sense. I mean, if you have a take, you have a take. But I don't know, just a fun episode, and I really like that they're doing that on TJ's Patreon, because that show should exist. Like, it's a bunch of dudes who've covered the sport for a long time, just talking about who they like and like how they think fights are going to go down. I'm always a fan of more of that content. There's a reason why I listen to a lot of breakdown shows, probably more than recaps actually. So yeah, just really liked it. Thought it was great. So we will keep moving on. Chris, why don't you get us into the podcast you think people should skip this week?
I hate it because I hate doing this because I think they were our most skipped in 2017, and sorry, I'm adding one more for 2017. UFC Unfiltered.
Oh boy, I have so many angry notes for this. This is perfect because it's not my skip.
I'll say this: I have
so many angry notes, and it's not my skip.
My notes are 3 sentences. The other stuff I found interesting. Carlos Condit wants to fight Masvidal, Taylor.
That's one of the 3 things that's decent.
Oh, by the way, I didn't even get to the Holly Holm interview because I was on the way here. Unfortunately,
it's okay. And it's exactly like every other Holly Holm interview.
It was a cookie cutter Holly Holm interview. I like Holly Holm. She seems like a really cool person, but I hear the same thing every time. And then of course Matt Serra nerding out, making Marvel Comics references every time.
Yep.
Which, don't get me wrong, I'm a comic book nerd. I grew up with that shit, but it's like, come on, Matt, we get it.
Yeah, I've got.
And I don't even know. Okay, and who was the guy that they had in the studio? Cam Kennedy. What was his name?
Camp Kennedy.
Wait, his name is Camp.
Yep.
Cam, like
K-A-M-P Kennedy.
And was this the guy like who didn't know shit about MMA, but he's like a 50-year-old man who watched boxing?
Yep.
So he kept asking questions.
He is a fucking moron director.
Wait,
He was a director because.
I'm looking this guy up right now.
We have a lot of. I've got a lot of interesting facts.
Yeah, go on, dude. Please.
My notes are pretty fucked up.
Go for it.
Let's see. At one point, he says he was a white rapper 2.5 minutes in.
Oh Jesus.
So your boy Camp the director, it was a white rapper. Also, he started fucking rapping which was really upsetting. I have in all caps, what the fuck is happening? Let's see. Oh, and he's in studio because he did a fucking crossover for the Bright movie where what happens if orcs go to the UFC. That's why he's on the show. And because Matt was in the movie. They talk a lot about Matt's acting.
Was in
oh, yeah.
Bright?
No, not Bright. Okay. The crossover short they did for Bright.
This guy has one directorial filmography.
Yeah, I bet it's the fucking short he did for Bright.
No.
Oh,
well, I'm doing
some other
for
thing.
Documentary.
But yeah, he did some short for Bright, where it's like what would happen if orcs went to the UFC.
By the way, I just want to let everyone know because other podcasts, Luke Thomas, Promotional Malpractice, we'll talk about later. Mm-hmm. Someone asked him, "Did you watch the film Bright?" He said, "Yes, I did. It's a flaming pile of trash." I'll tell you this: G6, I'm not gonna say his name, was over at my place, and me and him and Trevor, my roommate, watched Bright. I'll tell you this. As a person who originally wanted to be a fucking screenwriter, because my biggest influence was Quentin Tarantino, that movie's dialogue literally had me almost wanting to walk out of the room. I am not kidding. It's that, like, cringy is cringe as it is, right? But, okay, I won't say, okay, all I'll say is this. If you're going to watch Bright, please be high or drunk. Please. I watched it sober, and I'll tell you this, did it get entertaining? Yeah, because, like, you know it's a bad movie. It's fucking piece of shit. But Luke Thomas is right. It's bad. But if you're entertained, you're entertained. That's all I'm going to say about that movie. But just because they brought it up multiple times and Luke Thomas did. So yeah, please be high or drunk. No, probably just better to be high. Just be high if you're going to watch it. Please.
I haven't seen it yet, but
I'll say this. It's Bad Boys meets Harry Potter.
Dude, I have some fucking things to say here in a second. You just made me add a second skip to this list. But the other things that fucking Unfiltered... Oh, God...
Jimmy!
My notes are just like writing in all caps, this is fucking horrible. They're talking about Matt's acting and Kennedy just keeps kissing his ass. Evidently Travis Brown and Ray Sefo are also in the fucking short they did.
Oh yeah, they kept talking about Travis is like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like, no context.
Yeah. At one point, Matt confirms that Chris, the producer, writes every question he asks on that show to fighters, which is fucking hilarious. Because I've been saying that they just sound like they're reading every time they do interviews. Yeah. Because they're reading Chris, the producer's questions. So,
that's
why they sound like it's the first time they've ever seen that question. Yeah. They're like, and that's why there's always a caveat afterwards of like, I don't want to. You're like, okay, you didn't write it. We got it. Matt talks a lot about playing Call of Duty.
Oh, by the way, which confirms, you know when Chris Producer ever actually has his input, he's like the most knowledgeable out of the three.
Oh, for sure. That's why he writes the questions.
Yeah, clearly watches MMA.
But he still writes fuckboy questions. Yeah. Like, he asks the most generic, like, fucking...
Oh, you know why? Because the UFC Endeavor, I should say, probably tells him to.
I'm sure, yeah. Bet. I'm sure.
Because people forget, it's the UFC's podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. Good God. Oh, and Matt takes Khabib via ground and pound.
Oh, yeah, Khabib.
Yeah, despite working with Mark Henry's guys.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah, he's, like, super biased.
Yeah. And he went the other way, which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised.
Yeah.
But then again, Matt is a grappler guy, so...
Yeah. But I will segue right into... I wasn't going to even add this as a skip, but the Big Brown Breakdown, episode 59... Immediate skip also because here's some quotes for you.
Did he endorse Bright?
Oh boy, did he!
You know, I was almost.
He loves Bright. Right? He loves Bright. He says everyone that doesn't love Bright is just trying to be a fucking cool hipster.
No, it's the other way around. If you love Bright, you're a hipster because it was correctly trashed.
No, but he says.
No, I get it. He's trying to flip it the other way. No.
Well, no, he's saying that because he's like. If you don't like it, it's just because the only reason the critics don't like it is because they're paid by Hollywood and it doesn't involve the Hollywood movie industry. The critics are Blockbuster and Netflix is Netflix. He also says the phrase. Oh, he runs down Will Smith's entire IMDb page.
Wait, Will Smith?
Yeah,
page?
He just starts naming Will Smith movies and going, dog. Wild Wild West? Bro, come on. It's the best ever.
Okay, can I have a little side note here? You
can after I say...
Yes, go through this, and I will say something that will enrage a lot of people. And will make them happy.
Here's a direct quote from Brendan Schaub. What is he, the greatest actor of all time? That was about Will Smith.
Okay.
he loves Will Smith.
Clearly.
Oh my god. Alright, yeah, we'll move on from that. He talks about some stuff that I'm going to get into in a second on my other skip. He likes WWE now, and he's like, what, people aren't allowed to change their opinions? Colby and Tough Rumors, he's not happy about. He's obsessed with the upper lip on Cody Garbrandt's new tattoo of his wife. He's like, no, they fucked up the upper lip. And then afterwards, he found out it was Cody's uncle, and he's like, oh, well, you fucked up the upper lip. He keeps calling her, saying, why does she look like she has a cleft palate? It's real fucked up. Oh boy, yeah, I'll stop there with that, because my other skip, and this is the skip that our sponsor, Judo Bell Tyler, also had. Judo Bell Tyler sent me a message saying, I think the title was skip for the week, JRE MMA Hour number 7, fucking B&B. No fucking MMA talk. I fucking hate Brian Callen. And that's pretty similar to how my notes go. They talk about the Doc Icarus. They talk a little bit of Stipe stuff and Curtis Blades. They're really high on how hot Rachel Ostovich and Rose are. They get real creepy about that for a bit.
Yeah, this is the thing. You literally say this. I think Rose Namajunas is attractive. I think Rachel Ostovich is hot.
That's not how it went.
No. But I'm saying if it was me, and I'm like, that's it.
Plus, I'm sure.
But they just go into it a little more than you should. Like, come on.
Well, I'm sure he knows Bob O too, Rachel's dad, who fought in MMA. So real awkward. And then it just starts going off the rails. Although Rogan does make a funny joke about young Jamie being Rain Man-esque after seeing him drain a bunch of threes in a row in a video. Okay, so around 50, my notes all have time codes because of how fucking bad this was. Around 50 minutes in, this is all based off the video, not off of the audio version, since the audio has ads, so it's longer. 50 minutes in, they spend a solid 30 minutes talking about Trump and clickbait news. An hour and 50 minutes in, now that we're talking about bad parents and fat people. Let's see. 2 hours and 9 minutes in, Brian is the one who finally tries to bring him back to MMA with a Roy Nelson reference, and they are immediately back off topic. God. Now Brian's talking about fucking podcasts with SEAL Team 6 and Jewel Thieves. Rogan points out that kids may learn faster because they have less to think about. Rogan takes a piss break, which is kind of monumental since he's known for never having to piss.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So that was kind of funny. Oh god. Oh yeah, they're just fucking with each other about ticket sales. Finally back to MMA at 2 hours and 36 minutes in. Let's see. They talk about how this is actually going to be our next clip. Talking about how human beings can't get to the how many human beings can get to the psychological state that Matt Brown gets to in full combat. And then Rogan does play a crazy video of, he actually plays the famous video of him KOing a fucking kid in a tournament.
Oh, yeah.
And then talks about it, which is pretty crazy. They talk a little bit more MMA, talk some Tyron Woodley, talk some Amanda Nunes, and then it's just completely off the rails. Brendan runs off to puke at one point. Rogan starts talking about the elk hearts he gave Brian. 3 hours in, they're talking about vegan and keto diets for forever. Brendan almost pukes on the mic. Also, Brendan has a fucking game face because I didn't know he was going to puke, and then out of nowhere he fucking throws up. But for the longest time he was hiding it pretty well. Yeah, Brendan's just throwing up over and over again, and they basically wrap it. And Brendan talks about it on his show, how he just had coffee and didn't eat anything all day. And he's been keto for fucking ever. It's just it was a shit show of an episode. As Judo Bell Tyler said, they fucking do not talk about MMA at all. Fucking Brian Callen. It's so skippable. It's insane. And I have already covered my can't miss for the week, which is the co-main event podcast, Christmas Spectacular. Fucking fantastic. So why don't you get into your can't miss for this week?
I was going to say, before my can't miss, it's cool if I do an honorable mention. It's the little quick note. Not real, fuck it. No,
well, let's do it after.
Yeah. I can't miss, and I listened to this podcast, dude, probably a year ago, but it's been a while, was MMA Roasted.
Yeah, MMA Roasted's great.
I thought it was great. Kevin Lee was on there.
I wanted to catch this one, but I didn't get around to it.
Kevin Lee was on there. He talked about he finally has an assistant who handles his phone calls because apparently his phone is being blown up by friends and family over the holidays, so I can't handle this right now.
That's fine.
So that was interesting.
Assistant means whatever girl he's hooking up with, right?
Well, no, he did mention he's been dating this chick since March. And he was just talking. And if, I forgot the guy's name. Who's the comedian on there?
Adam Hunter.
Yeah, Adam
Hunter. He's going to be in the, he's playing on the same street that we're on, like a mile that way in 2 weeks.
That one. Yeah. But Adam Hunter
Comedy
kept fucking
Palace,
with him, talking about, when was the last time you, in an actual, relationship, that kind of thing. You're in Vegas, so what do you think about, hooking up with strippers? And he's
right.
Kevin Lee was just keeping it real. He's only 25. He's like, well, first of all, he's like, 10s will be 10s. He's like, but you can't even hold a conversation with them, so there's that. He's like, he called it hit it and split it. Or hit it, and I'm like, yeah, it's... sounds about right.
Yep.
For an athlete.
And from Detroit originally.
Yeah. I think it was Adam who said, he was joking, they were looking at the knockout that Matt Brown had against Diego Sanchez. Kevin was saying, that's probably the most brutal knockout I've ever seen, based on, I think Matt Brown basically hit him in the back of the fucking head. He didn't mean to.
I mean, it's, behind the ear, behind the head. Kind of
and I think Adam said, guys should just shave a line in their head to mark where you can't strike.
Dude, Mohawks. That's what they are, literally.
Yeah.
It's like they would when Big John would talk about the area you can't hit.
And I think it was Adam. There's another guy in there. I can't remember his name, but I think Adam said, "You know what? They're talking about attractive female fighters." And Adam, he's like, "I like Angela Magana." And then immediately Kevin's like, "Wait, we love Magana? What the fuck?" Kevin doesn't, and that just made me laugh. And they were going on a tangent on that. Kevin was talking about even if he loses a fight, he was reflecting on his loss to Tony Ferguson. He says he talks all that shit.
The other dude, I think, was Jack Jr.
Yes, Jr. Someone there's
Jack Jr.
Jack Jr. Kevin was basically saying, even if I lose, he's like, I feel like I'm still going to do some damage. And he said he felt proud of his performance against Tony, all being that he had fucking staph infection.
Right.
He says he admits though that if I had won that fight, I would have called everyone out, and that probably would have backfired against me because I would have still been fucked for my staff and not been able to fight. Because he said currently he doesn't even know when he's gonna fight. He said he's just trying to get healthy again and manage his weight.
Yeah, I actually heard him say, I forget on what podcast. He's just in
a land of kind of uncertainty right now as far as when he's gonna fight again.
Yeah, I forget on what podcast he said it, but I believe he said he's looking at July or so for a return.
Yeah, I think that's what he mentioned too. I think I heard that. Then they were praising Kevin's potential because he's only 25, which you really should.
Super young, yeah.
He was saying he has 9 to 10 more years left if he could stay healthy and not take much damage.
Yep.
He discusses he's getting a new management deal, getting a new management. He discussed his love for Coach Robert Follis at Extreme Couture.
MMA Junkie was where I heard that because he was on MMA Junkie this week, too.
He was talking about his relationship with Coach Follis at Extreme Couture and how difficult it was kind of training again once that whole tragedy happened. And how everyone over there was dealing with it.
Yeah, Tim Elliott had some good interviews this week about that,
and I'll get to that. It's a good segue because he talks about Tim Elliott. However, he did talk about the rumors of Floyd Mayweather coming to MMA. He says, I'll just put it right now, it's fucking ridiculous. He's like, the man is already 40 years old. He is very untrained, and it would be a nightmare for the promotion and for everyone. I say this as someone who knows Floyd, and yeah, he's just keeping it real.
Yeah.
They asked you, hey, who do you want to fight next? He says it's either between Eddie Alvarez or Justin Gaethje, but he said at this point he'd rather fight Alvarez.
I mean, obviously, coming off the win.
Yeah. And then he was talking shit on Gaethje. He's like, Gaethje's chin is gone. He's like, I would knock that fool out, that kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. And I think he said he would take him down, out-wrestle the wrestler, just talking his game.
I mean, that's how he's going to talk.
This is funny. He says he thinks Edson Barboza is a little bitch because he quits in the first round, just like Michael Johnson does.
He also said that on MMA Junkie.
Yep.
The phrase "Edson Barboza's kind of a bitch" definitely came up.
He said Khabib. He favors Khabib in the fight against Barboza. They talked about, hey, Khabib has a 6-pack now. That's kind of what happened to Johnny Hendricks. Remember when he had a gut and he was knocking people the fuck out, but then he got a 6-pack and then oh shit, what happened?
Yeah.
Does it have to do with certain fighters' routines with their health? But Kevin says overall he does want to fight Khabib too eventually because he wants to prove to Khabib American wrestling's better than Russian style. Kevin went on a tangent saying Irish people in general have bad genetics. He said if you have pale skin and red hair, there's something wrong with you.
Sounds like some inflammatory shit he would say.
Oh yeah, and then they said, so is Canelo have bad genes? He's like, unfortunately he does.
That's funny.
He was talking about his own background. He says his dad is full black, but his mom is like white and something else like mixed. He says his talking about his girlfriend, because of course Adam was kind of
he likes
saying,
that
hey,
shit.
what kind of girl are you into? That kind of thing. So, yeah.
He likes to do the certain thing a bit.
More importantly, this is interesting. Since he talked about training with George St. Pierre before the Ferguson fight, he praised GSP. Said he's a great guy, wonderful guy. Fantastic athlete and fighter and a GOAT. I think he considers him the GOAT of all of the UFC and MMA. He says GSP is very attracted to big black women, and he says
that is a
great.
rumor that is been around.
And I think Adam's like, so Serena Williams? He's like, no, bigger. I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah, that is the rumor.
Good on GSP.
Although Punch Drunk Sports,
and then they made a funny joke like, how would GSP be in the club? And he was like, oh, he'd be wearing some outdated like fashionable shit from like 2005.
Yeah, some like, weird French shit.
Yeah, he mentioned some French brand or some shit like that. And I thought that was hilarious. That had me laughing. Kevin actually likes Holly Holm in the matchup against Cyborg, not because of the odds, but just because of the style matchup, the counter punching. He said mainly if Cyborg goes full throttle, full pressure, she's going to get played into Holm's game plan.
True. That's what makes that fight interesting.
And then at the end, he mentioned Tim Elliott and how he's a great human being and how he had a neighbor was this kid whose mom was on meth, so Tim decided to basically bring him in and adopt him while the mom is struggling. So, yeah, Tim Elliott's a great guy.
Yeah.
Very good guy.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of really good stories about that dude, and he's out of Kansas City with James Krause and all
and then after that, at the end, they kept talking about Mickey Gall, and then Kevin kept saying, who is him? I don't know. Who is he? I don't know his name at all. All I know is he's just a little bitch.
Yeah, he was. I remember when he was on Ariel's show, he was like, Ariel, can we stop with the Mickey Gall now?
See, that's my can't miss. I thought Kevin Lee's always fun to listen to.
Yeah, and Adam Hunter's underrated. Like,
yeah, he's funny. That guy's
everybody loves his Twitter game, but nobody really follows his podcast too much because it's a little crazy. Like, it's pretty fucking chaotic, and there's a lot of crazy shit happening. Especially when Uncle Hinach is on, Hinata Larange. Fucking, oh my god, Poha. But, yeah, fucking great show. I generally always enjoy that. Especially, like, depending on the guest, it'll get either real weird or real legit. But I have a couple new shows, actually. Did you have any new shows you wanted to jump into?
Fortunately, I didn't get around to that.
It's alright, because I got two, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah.
The first one I listened to was We Are Rizin. It's a Rizin-based MMA podcast, done out of New York, I believe. I listened to episode 3, which was their breakdown of the two New Year's Eve Rizin cards. And their hosts are Andrew and Declan Kirby, which, holy shit, Declan Kirby, how are you not a cyberpunk character? That is a goddamn sweet cyberpunk name. Like, that is some Blade Runner ass like name right there.
That is actually, yeah.
Declan Kirby.
A replicant.
Oh, it's great.
Oh, no, because Kirby is a replicant,
is
right?
It?
Isn't that, I swear to God, that's like the guy, the main bad guy from the original one.
That's
I swear it's Kirby. Oh, my God.
Maybe that's why I immediately went to that.
I think it is.
Also, Declan just sounds like a fucking cyberpunk
No, Declan
name.
is like some evil name from some other like sci-fi film from like a long time ago.
Something like that, yeah.
Is that guy's real name? That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. But yeah, they talk about the two upcoming New Year's Eve events from Rizin. They basically just go through and break down their picks for the first and second night. Andrew is clearly more knowledgeable about the lesser-known fighters than Declan is. Declan does a lot of what you did early on in this podcast. You're like, I have no fucking idea who that is. I'll flip a coin or whatever, not because it's a close fight and I don't know who to pick, but because I don't know who either of these people are and I have no context for this. Which, to be fair, for the Rizin cards, I have generally a lot of times I have pretty similar feeling about it. Which, by the way, we're recording this on Friday, so the first Rizin card was yesterday, so we will actually talk a little bit about that in the second segment, because there's a couple fucking fights I'm going to make Chris watch that were ridiculous. But yeah, just super fun. They just go through a break to give their picks. Andrew clearly does a bunch of research. I mean, he's mentioning like late replacements and card changes that I didn't even know were a thing. So I'm kind of impressed by it overall. He does also, Andrew does point out when he breaks down each fight the different rules types for each match, because again Rizin does different rules. Like this one they allow elbows, this one it's MMA, but you can't do this thing, or like whatever weird rules they have for each fight. So that was cool. They talk about how you could try to do a Showtime kick in a ring and how that would go down. So that was hilarious. They also talk about Gabby versus the grandma, and how Gabby was cutting weight.
Another grandma.
Well, they were joking about how Gabby's cutting weight, and I think she's just like eating salads and stuff. She seems to like really be watching her diet. Meanwhile, a day or two later, Gabby came in 26 pounds overweight, and they canceled the fucking fight. And then Gabby cried in the middle of the ring.
Oh, I just saw something on the MMA subreddit where it's like she apologized to Japanese in a very awkward way.
The most awkward shit. We'll watch it. We'll talk about it because it's so fucking awkward. God, Japan. Y'all just don't give a fuck.
Y'all need some more Ian McCall and some cup noodle.
Yep. Speaking of that, they do hint in that episode that they might be doing an interview with Ian McCall soon. Then they go through and break down the Day 2 events, or the Day 2 Rizin card. And for that one, it's obviously they don't know some of the tournament winners at that point. But they go through and give the picks for the ones they would know. And they talk briefly about Road FC and how it's super legit, and they upload all their cards to YouTube. And then they do an interview with Cindy Dandois, who fought King Reina last night, which we will talk about.
Soccer mom.
Yeah, and she fought King Reina, who is my goddamn favorite. If you guys did not see the fucking GIF I made of King Reina, oh my god. I would use it. If we could have a GIF as our artwork, I would goddamn use that motherfucker, because it's glorious. But instead we're going to have some other crazy Rizin shit that I haven't even found yet for our artwork. Maybe it'll be Vanderlei attacking the cup of noodles.
Rougher does he actually attack?
Okay, yeah, we'll make it that. But overall it's cool. The interview with Cindy is fine. It does sound kind of like he's recording a Skype call off his phone. Like he's doing a Skype call on his computer and recording it from his phone, something like that. So I might have to hit him up and tell him how to do that better. But overall, I really enjoyed it. Thought it was a fun podcast.
Nice.
I'm definitely going to check it out again. There's not a lot of people covering Rizin. I mean, we'll cover it briefly, but it's like Jordan Breen and the Vivisection is like basically it. So, pretty cool. And then the other new podcast I listened to was the MMA Industry Podcast. The episode on December 28th with Ed Cap. If you guys don't know, this podcast is hosted by James Lynch. And he essentially talks to people who cover MMA. So whether it's like journalists, PR people, managers, just people in the MMA industry kind of thing. And James Lynch, if you guys don't know, does incredible interviews. Formerly of Flow Combat, which he addresses in this show, and also works for Fightful, I believe is the one he works for. But he has the PR specialist Ed Cap on, who is from Iridium Sports. Essentially, they just go through, talk a lot about how Ed got into the industry, how Ed started off working more on the for promotions and stuff, then eventually moved to PR. Let's see. They originally met when James was doing the Parting Shots podcast, which is no longer around. So who knows? Maybe one week I'll actually go listen to their last episode of that, or one of their episodes, and let you know how that show was. Because I believe I did hear some of the Parting Shots podcast before it ended, but I don't remember much about it. Like, that was really early on to when I was listening to MMA podcasts. Like 2013, 2014, something like that. So, and I didn't get into MMA podcasts until like around then. Basically when Corolla Digital fell off a bit, I switched over to a lot of MMA shows. Shouts out to Ariel. I know there's an Ariel Stefan Struve interview that I would always remember.
Hasn't the MMA Hour, hasn't he done that since 2009, something crazy?
He had his old show in 2009.
Okay.
They used to do on his own website, whatever fucking Montreal Expos goddamn reference the name of that thing was. What's the name of their stadium?
I can't remember what it's called.
It's fair. You shouldn't. I just figured you're into some baseball bullshit, so.
Yeah, I mean, I know the team, and they turn into the Nationals.
It's like the something park, but Jerry Park.
Yeah, because I keep, when I think of Canadian, I keep thinking the Blue Jays, like the Rogers.
Yeah, well, that's because that team still exists.
Yeah.
So, I believe it was, Jerry Park was his old
That sounds
website.
about right, because it was like a hybrid, like outdoors, kind of indoors. Kind of
thing. Just a cool episode. Like, if you guys are into hearing how people got into, like, whatever roles they're doing in the MMA industry, which, by the way, spoiler alert for all of MMA goddamn people who work in the industry, they all just, like, kind of met people and just kind of like, hey, I can do that, and they just get that job. Or, like, they have credentials that are, like, kind of close enough, and they're just friendly on Twitter with somebody, and shit just falls into place. Like, there's a lot of right place, right time that happens in the MMA industry. Actually, the majority of it, from what I've learned. It's just interesting to hear it. James Lynch is great. He does fantastic interviews. And the reason why I wouldn't listen to this episode originally was because he talks about how he's taking a step back from Flow Combat since they're scrapping all their live events. So Full Combat was doing a bunch of live event streaming on their website. And I think this is just for the combat side. I don't know if this affects Submission Underground or any of that stuff. I'm assuming this is more of like the smaller amateur shows and stuff that they would broadcast, which is a bummer because they literally broadcast like a fuckload of amateur shows that you can't really see otherwise. But it was expensive as shit, which is, I think, part of the problem. But they're reducing that role, so James Lynch is no longer going to be doing stuff for them. However, he is still going to be doing his podcast, and he's still going to be doing stuff like interviews and stuff for Fightful. So, thought that was interesting, nice. And I like James Lynch a lot. I think he's a very knowledgeable dude in the sport, and he just works his ass off. So, wanted to shout that out. What was your, you said you had one that you wanted to give a shout out to?
Yeah, for me it was Promotional Malpractice. Of course, Luke Thompson.
Yeah. It was pretty solid. It was kind of all over the place.
The one I kind of keyed in on is when he was discussing the welterweight division. I think he was saying that it's basically going to have the best matchups next year, or this coming year.
Right.
And I agree. He's talking about who he wants to see fight who. You know, Kamaru Usman, he thinks would... I don't think he said would work Darren Till, but definitely be a problem for him because we haven't seen Darren Till's, counter wrestling, that kind of thing.
Yep.
He said, how about Wonderboy versus Till? Basically, it's like, how about anyone versus Till at this point? Because we need to see what that dude can do. Who's Fighter of the Year? He thinks it's between Max Holloway, Demetrius Johnson, Robert Whittaker, or Francis Ngannou. If I were to choose, I'd say Robert Whittaker based on who he fought this year, kind of who he beat.
He's up there for sure.
That'd be my pick. After him, I'd probably say Holloway, or I guess DJ, because he had like that gnarly. I don't know. I think I'd still say Holloway. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Whittaker is like probably the go-to. There's people.
Oh, and he also mentioned he chose Whittaker because for whom he beat, and also because he got a gold medal in wrestling at the Australian National Championship.
Yeah, which people sleep on.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then he discussed top prospects in women's strawweight division, and this really annoyed me. I don't know if Luke does it on purpose when he mispronounces names, but he literally said, is it Cynthia Calvillo? Which it is, because she's Mexican-American.
It's both.
Or is it Calvillo? That sounds
both.
like it's like Portuguese or Brazilian.
It's actually both. He's addressed that. It is both. And now he intentionally says Calvillo because people get mad. It is both. She says it both ways. I believe, like, where she's from, they would pronounce it Calvillo. Where she pronounces it Calvillo. But both are technically correct from what I've heard.
That's interesting. Must be like Central Mexico or some shit, or Southern Mexico.
Right.
Like the Yucatan Peninsula.
Something like that.
Probably Central America shit that I've never heard of.
Yeah, and we'll definitely talk about Cynthia Calvillo later.
And he also talked about Tatiana Suarez. He basically saying 2 Mexican-American fighters that are definitely palpable to the UFC media. That's a good point. So I just want to give a quick shout-out to him.
Yeah, he did also
I know he had a lot more to say, but I kind of forgot to add it.
Well, and it was just a lot of, like, generic 219 talk and holiday talk, shit like that. He has an Ember coffee mug that keeps the coffee warm in the cup at a certain temperature.
That sounds kind of cool.
Which he's very hyped
not
about.
Gonna lie, that actually sounds
it does sound cool, but not for how fucking white person hyped he was about it.
It's true, yeah.
He was so goddamn white person hyped. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But he also did mention that there's big stuff coming to the show next year. Nothing bad.
Did his
just
dog
big
show up
changes.
and he mentioned something with
Barbas did show up as well.
Yeah.
Barbas is goddamn hilarious. And I believe you can see Barbas dressed as something on Barbas' Twitter, because that's a thing. It's great. It cracks me up. Let's see. I did have a couple shout-outs for shit I listened to. Fury's Fight Picks. Episode, his UFC 219 prediction episode. Luca Fury is actually stepping away from his podcast in the premium bets site he was doing. He says basically he's just like he's moving across the country, like dealing with work stuff, and he's gonna have to take a break. He says it might be back someday, but he isn't sure whether it will be. But he does hope that it's going to be back in, or he says he hopes he'll be able to put out a statement on like whether it's coming back or not in the next like 2 months or so. So that was cool of him to announce and like put out. That dude's been around for a long time and put out good content. His shows have never been like crazy. Well, his shows, at least as of late, have not been crazy in depth and pretty sparse, but it was a fun podcast, and I hope it does return. He then goes through and breaks down the UFC 219 picks. I believe he does, if not the whole card, at least the main card. I think it's the entire main card. But he also gives very similar type picks on the Sherdog breakdown. So, let's see. MMA Roadshow 144 with John Morgan. I love this show. It's just John Morgan hanging out drinking with his buddies. This time they recorded in Boomers in Vegas like they normally do for these when there's a card in Vegas, which is a bar. They just hang out and they drink. However, unfortunately, Boomers in Vegas is closing down, which is like their go-to bar. But the other good news is that since it's closing down, they no longer give a shit about people smoking weed in it because they don't care about the liquor license. So evidently people were just smoking shitloads of weed all over the bar and getting fucked up. John Morgan sounds high as shit. I don't think he is, but he sounds high as shit during the episode.
That's pretty funny.
I always fuck up this dude's name. Chamakar Sandhu, another MMA junkie writer who just recently moved to Canada. He was on their episode I think I talked about last week with Mike Bond and those guys. He was there as a guest. They talked about people smoking weed. Talk a little bit about Condit's return. They played an interview of Tim Elliott. John Morgan did an interview with Tim Elliott talking about the Robert Follow stuff, which is pretty crazy. And how it's even he doesn't know how it's going to affect him coming into the fight. Talk about how fucking John loves Khalil Roundtree. He's a giant Khalil Roundtree fan.
You know what tripped me out? Speaking of Khalil Roundtree, I haven't followed him on Instagram, which I should though. Someone on Reddit posted Khalil Roundtree will occasionally post Flashback Friday or Throwback Thursday when he was like fucking 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And holy shit, so I'm like, dude, that
he was huge.
That's a trick.
Yeah, it's crazy. And Khalil Roundtree is pretty cool from what I've heard. He's super cool on Twitter and shit. And let's see, he plays an interview with Ngannou, and they do a Conspiracy Corner segment with Fiasco Jones, which they decided that the Conspiracy Corner name is going to die with Boomers, and it is going to rise from the ashes as a segment now called Far Off Topic. Because it's so fucking off topic. They talk about aliens and fucking like shit like that for like a good 20, 30 minutes.
They talk about the SpaceX rocket launch that freaked out people, including myself.
Oh my god, all those morons. Nobody can do a goddamn Google search.
Oh no, dude. To be fair, I was driving like on the 163 back to Claremont from Tirisana.
But like,
I just see this thing in the sky.
That's the first thing I would think. We're in Southern California. There's a fuck ton of military aircraft.
Oh, you know what it was? Like, I was thinking to Joe Rogan and chemtrails. Yeah. This thing spinning. I was like, what is this?
Well, and there's videos of...
I just thought, honestly, I thought it was the military transporting weapon. That's all I really thought it was.
There's a great video of Bert Kreischer watching that and talking to Tom Segura and thinking everyone's going to die and aliens are coming. It's great. And then for next week for the MMA Roadshow, they're going to go to Jackson's bar and see how that is. So I'm actually going to be in Vegas the end of January.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Nice, girlfriend Karen's birthday. So I may actually try and hit up Jackson's bar since, unfortunately, Boomers is gone and I wanted to go to Boomers. So kind of bummed. But I thought that was good. Heavy Hands was good. 191. I mean, they do what they do. They talk about breakdowns. Connor at one point says, when you said Holly Holm was going to get flatlined, it made me sad. I don't want to see Cyborg kill Holly Holm. Which I thought was very Connor Rebush. He's just he's a very nice boy. And they talk a lot about like how the pressuring of Cyborg can either play into or hurt Holly Holm's game. Obviously, Fight Talk 95 with Brendan Dorman. Just really good. Talk about Yancey and Cowboy announcement. Some of the announcements. They talk the biggest moments of 2017, including like all the crazy interim belt shit, Maymac, and then some of the fights that stood out. They give their picks for 219, and then their old co-host Carl stops by during the Holm vs. Cyborg picks. And Carl is drinking a barley wine and Founders Kentucky Bourbon Stout. And they're over in Ireland. So if you're drinking Founders Kentucky Bourbon Stout in Ireland, you're on point with your fucking craft beer game, dog. So I wanted to give that a shout out. Talked about how the MMA Junkie interview, MMA Junkie 2587 with Kevin Lee is basically just the same as the interview on Roasted. The BBC MMA show did an awards show with where they just went through like call out of the year, comeback of the year, best KO, best sub. Connor got the Kanye award.
Which one?
He got the Kanye award for fighter who transcended the sport. He also didn't fight in the sport.
He transcended the sport because he went into boxing against the greatest of all time, Floyd Money Mayweather. This is why Conor, just like Dana says, actually defended his belt.
Right.
Does that mean, Chris, that Floyd Mayweather is the real lightweight UFC champion? Is that what we're saying here? No.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, sorry for that BBC voice, but that's
no, it's a pretty good John Gooden.
I didn't even listen to that.
Even though it's not even John Gooden that's on that show. 3 Amigos was pretty solid. 3 Amigos 157. We actually are going to play a quote where Ian... oh God, what's Ian's last name? It's Ian from fucking 3 Amigos. I can't remember his last name right now, which is really fucking
Ian Amigo.
Keep wanting to call him Ian Bagg, but that's actually someone I know in real life.
That's a comedian.
No, wait.
Ian Bagg is a fucking... Trust me, I was doing a thing before my internship ended.
Oh, Ian Bosch is the guy I know in real life.
No,
Ian Bagg is the comedian. Yeah. See, this is why I'm having trouble. It's something similar to those. Maybe, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, it's Ian that's been on that show forever. He's fantastic. But he brings up a great point about the Reebok pay and how it's super fucked. So we will play that clip in a second segment.
Still pay people $5?
No, about how they're stealing like probably $10 million from the fighters. And like,
oh yeah, someone did a number right up on that I saw.
No, it's better than that. We'll play the clip and we'll comment on it later. And then the only other one I wanted to shout out was Beatdown with Julie Kedzie, which discussed the Cyborg vs. Holm fight, since she was both trained with Holly Holm and was the matchmaker for Invicta for Cyborg.
That's right.
So she has kind of a unique take. So they did like her and TJ sat down and talked about like what the fight means, and Julie did a lot of just discussing like kind of how the matchmaking worked for Cyborg and how like like it's underrated the fact that maybe she hasn't fought all the biggest names, but it's because no one wants to fucking fight her. So it was just interesting and I really liked it. So we'll wrap that segment there. But while there wasn't a lot of MMA content that came out, there was a lot of good Like, the quality was really high, I feel like, this week. Like, the people who did do shows did fucking great shows.
It was pretty concentrated on what they kind of wanted to discuss.
Exactly. And, yeah, it was a lot less, well, except for fucking everything Brendan Schaub was involved in, a lot less meandering than other weeks, so.
Bro, he's just like the Punisher.
Oh, God. Will Smith is literally, what, is he the best actor of all time? That was a real quote.
What I was going to say, we're in this segment. Remember you mentioned Wild Wild West?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, for people who don't know, in 1999, when the film was in theaters, guess which role Will Smith turned down? The role of Neo from The Matrix, which is a blessing. Because, I'm not going to lie, he probably could have been okay. Because Will Smith, when he tries, a good actor. See the film Ali, when he played Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali.
He's pretty
He did
good.
a pretty good job. And then that movie, I saw Concussion. I saw part of it. He actually did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he's a
good actor when he wants to be.
He's super okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Wild Wild West, you probably would have made a lot more money as Neo. Keanu Reeves, that definitely boosted you up. And, well, Keanu Reeves is back as John Wick. I love John Wick. I think it's very entertaining if you've ever seen those movies. But that's all I want to say. You turned down Neo for Wild Wild West.
I respect that decision. I'm on board, dog. Wild Wild West is, I like those movies. I like Wild Wild West.
Wild Wild West. Come on, do the Wild Wild West.
Dude, I genuinely
Hey, you know what I remember? Burger King, their style of Happy Meal, they had the Wild Wild West shit. That's all I remember. It was Burger King that had that, not McDonald's. I don't know. You know what I mean? No, Burger King had Pokemon. That's what their selling point was. You know, the fucking little Pokemon balls with, like, the cards and shit.
I genuinely like Wild Wild West better than The Matrix, so fuck it!
You just triggered so many people.
Oh, I'm being very honest. I really do.
Hey, but we can't deny Salma Hayek, though, in Wild Wild West.
Well, you can't really deny Titty McTittystein in anything.
Yeah.
Good God. Dogma is always my go-to Salma Hayek reference.
And then that one vampire movie that she was in, Quentin Tarantino did.
Yeah, Dusk Till Dawn.
That's what, yep.
Yeah, which, again, decent Tarantino movie, because he didn't direct it.
Yep.
I always say that Tarantino's best movies... Yeah, his best movies he doesn't direct.
Real pot. Eggplant.
Oh, fucking not Reservoir Dogs.
Well, no, see, the ones he directs and writes are great too. Like Django Unchained, he wrote that whole movie.
It was
And then same with Reservoir Dogs. That's why that's still one of my favorites.
Reservoir Dogs was like one of the few good ones he did.
And I think he co-wrote Pulp Fiction, or part of it.
Yeah, he wrote the shit out of Pulp Fiction. Yeah. I generally like stuff that I like stuff he writes but doesn't direct.
By the way, I don't
want to see Uma Thurman's feet for 400
I'm still about a
hours.
quarter of the way through Hateful Eight on Netflix. I like it, though. I'm a sucker for Westerns. I think it's pretty entertaining. Yeah. It's a very good cast.
Wait, Hateful Eight?
It's like all the interesting characters, like the bounty hunter meets up with another bounty hunter, like in the snow in Wyoming.
Oh, I'm thinking about the fucking cowboy movie. Magnificent Seven. I mean, come on. Think about the names and see how I easily could have confused those.
Yeah, the Magnificent Seven, which Hollywood has basically ripped off the original Japanese Magnificent Seven, the samurai.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic film.
Welcome to every Western movie ever. They've been doing that
The
shit
Seven
since
Samurai
the
is one of the greatest films of all time. That movie is amazing.
But we will wrap this segment here now that we are 100% off topic. We're the fucking Brendan Schaubs of MMA Podcasts.
I know, we're talking about craft beer and then movies.
Yeah.
Screenwriting.
So what are we, the goddamn Film Vault? If y'all want to hear an episode where people get drunk and talk about the best drinking scenes in movies, the Film Vault is fucking awesome. I'll put a link in the description. And when I say I'll put a link in the description, I intend to put a link in the description. But I do drink during these shows, and we have another hour or whatever of recording, so fingers crossed I put a link in the description. It's a great fucking episode, though. Go look up the Film Vault. It's great. Anyway, we're on the segment here. You guys can go listen to this clip of... Oh, shit, what was it? This clip was... right. It was actually one of the few relevant parts in Joe Rogan's MMA podcast where they actually talk about MMA, and they talk about how how they talk about how few people have Matt Brown's style of intensity and willing to kill a motherfucker. So check it out. Grab that.
Outsiders.
And fighters as well. It's the same thing. I don't know any fighters that somewhere in the back of their head
do they not have this one area where like, oh, you got this spot. Most people don't have that spot.
Yep.
There's like this one area of darkness.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I mean, like, how many human beings do you think could get to the psychological state that Brown gets into in full combat? I mean, how many people
Call me
have
immortal.
that? How many people have that level of violence in their head, in the face of like real world-class fighters? The one thing that I love about Matt Brown is every Matt Brown fight was a motherfucking Matt Brown fight.
And he knew it. Like,
He
you'd
knew
see
it.
him go to the cage, like, well, time
you
to clock
see-
in for chaos.
You see how he got into the cage during his last fight with Diego Sanchez?
Yeah,
He
man.
roars. They open up the cage door and he just fucking throws his arm back. It's like, "Rah!"
Yeah.
And it's real.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
real.
an act.
Yeah, it's real.
Like
He's
this
he's
guy
like
is.
the Punisher.
All right, we are back, and that was a clip of Brendan Schaub calling someone the Punisher, like always. They're talking about Matt Brown and his wild ass roar. Well, and just his wild ass fucking tactics when it comes to fights, and just how he's willing to go to that dark place.
Yeah, the dark place either gets you knocked the fuck out or you knock someone else the fuck out.
Yeah, it's been working out good for him as of fighting a 145er. So,
Yeah.
you know. But we will go ahead and jump into, since we don't really have a card to recap this week, I mostly just wanted to recap the Rizin card.
The Rizin card.
Yeah, and we are not going to do this in any kind of detail. I just wanted to shout out a couple fights that were fucking ridiculous. Goddamn Kaya Sakura just about murdered Saiga with the fucking knee and punches. Which was fucking ridiculous. Cindy Dandois, how dare you, Cindy Dandois and Misha Tate, ruin all my goddamn fun. Beat King Reina in a legit decision.
That's showing competence.
Yeah, well, Reina got wrestle fucked, which I did not expect in that fight.
I was expecting soccer mom bros.
Yeah, I just didn't think that Cindy would end up being able to catch trips as easily as she did in that fight. She got one in the first round and basically won the round off of that. And then in the third round, same thing. I think Reina probably took the second. And, like, they were both lighting each other up on the feet in, like, the world's worst kind of way. Not intentionally, but they were at least, they were, like, I don't know how to describe what the kind of striking that was going on in that fight. Watch the fight, you'll know what I mean. But it's what I wanted that fight to be. I just, a little bummed that Reina wasn't able to take that one, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fucking huge, how dare you, police? It is not illegal to be a King Reina fan.
Whoop, whoop.
Get out of here with your fucking cisgender ideas, alright? I'm a big fan of King Reina. We will keep on moving on. Carl Albrechtsen got motherfucking mollywopped
Not
by...
Albertsons, as you may or may not have said.
That's right, Albrechtsen, who I like to refer to as Adult Bad Santa. He recently just lost to JRE Prochazka.
Wait, what?
I think it's Prochazka. I'm fucking the name up.
JRE Prochazka.
Yeah, I think it's Prochazka, though.
I think he's Czech, as G6 would not approve. I don't know what that flag is. It looks Czech to me, though. Actually, no, it's probably not Czech at all. It is Czech.
Check, nailed it.
It checks out.
Yeah, unless you're G6, and then you're checking out of this conversation. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was a fun fight. Carl Albrechtsen, who was coming off a big win in his last fight, looked all right. He definitely looks like Mickey Gall and the kid from Bad Santa had a child, 100%.
No, Sean O'Malley.
Sorry, I said Mickey Gall.
That was
yeah,
you lost me.
Sean O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley.
100%.
Yeah.
The other fucking hilarious young looking for a fight-esque fighter. Or I guess that was technically Contender Series, which is just looking for a fight without the looking.
Same thing.
Yeah, just without Matt Serra eating pizza is the only difference. Alright, we'll keep on moving on. The other ones I wanted to shout out. Taha got killed with a guillotine weird guillotine.
Oh, that angle. Yeah, he was just
he-
like this. Like right now, if I had you in a thing and I'm not even looking at you.
Yeah,
man,
Otsuka caught him like with somewhere between a mounted guillotine and a regular guillotine, but he was off at like a real weird angle. So that was pretty impressive. Ishiwatari, sorry, got the win over Kevin Pecci via punch where he fucking... That was the one where he punched him out of the sky, right?
I'm sorry, what?
He punched homie out of the sky, Ishiwatari. Like, the dude was coming forward and he fucking killed him out of the sky and then beat him the fuck up. No?
So I'm drawing a blank.
Dude leapt forward and got sniped out of the sky.
Oh, that one, yeah. When the guy went like this and he went like this and just steps up. And
Just
the guy
killed him out of the sky.
yeah. When you said out of the sky, I think like he jumped off the ropes.
No,
like, dude, he's in
fucking
Sorry, my brain
Under
was in a different spot right
Fedor
now. What
style.
the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as bad as Under Fedor, but he was definitely in the air when he got clipped. I think he got clipped again after that, and that's what put him out. Manel Cape got the most bullshit win of all time over Ian McCall.
Fuck that.
Dude, where Ian McCall got cut because of the fucking ropes.
A rope cut him.
And then got caught with a knee that definitely didn't help the cut. And then got told that he got TKO'd because Japan hates blood. But it was some hot bullshit. He did get caught.
Like, even after he was fixed up by the doctor, you smiling. Let's go, motherfucker.
Well, right, but like Japan doesn't.
No, I know.
fuck with
No,
cuts
I
at
know they
all.
hate blood and they're gonna go. But like realistically, this UFC or something like that,
Yeah.
promotion, like, all right, let's fight.
Well, and what bullshit is it was the rope, like, and they're calling it a win via TKO because of the cut, but it should clearly be a no contest because the fucking rope was the thing that cut him. Essentially, he slid his head along the weird plastic ropes they have, and it was like enough friction to cut it open, slice it open. But just kind of a bummer. Ian McCall did get caught in a nasty guillotine in that fight. So, I don't know. Take it for what you will. But, fun fight, though. And I'd like to see a rematch on it, to be honest. I mean, Ian wasn't doing terrible. They were both clipping each other on the feet. Like, it was fun while it lasted. So I'd like to see that one ran back. And then Kyoji Horiguchi motherfucking killed a dude. Gabriel Oliveira.
That was very impressive, especially how outsized he was. At least, I think overall size and height. Was his left straight or?
You know what? I fucked up. Kyoji Horiguchi's the one who sniped a dude out of the sky. The other guy's the one who face planted homie. Ishiwatari face planted a dude with a hook, I believe.
Oh yeah, when he stepped and hooked him, and the guy was like.
I believe. I could be mixing these up. I've been drinking tonight. I've been drinking last night when I was watching these, and these are the last couple fights I did not catch until right
Don't
now.
mind me. I haven't been drinking that much. I'm just very, very exhausted, unfortunately, and I'm trying to tell.
I feel like
apologies to me sounding high. I'm not high at all.
No, I'm the high one.
Yeah, I'm just very tired.
Yeah, well, and I feel like that's kind of how everybody's feeling this week. Like between everyone being sick,
the flu
and
going
like
around.
Yeah, like you guys heard me last week. I sounded like fucking dead.
Yeah, remember, we're not kidnappers.
No. Despite my despite the announcer for last week's episode though, totally a kidnapper.
Yeah, he is.
That motherfucker kept asking me to get into his van, and I was like, I'm cool, bro. I don't need to help you with your couch. You can help yourself. But you know, it's not Ted Danson. I almost said Ted Danson.
Yeah, he's a great actor, and he's from San Diego.
Ted something.
Ted Bundy? It's Ted Bundy. He's a serial killer.
No, I want to say Ted Borgnine, but that's totally wrong. I don't know. He's the dude from he's the guy from Psych who plays the boss in the show Psych on USA.
Oh, yeah, I know they're making a movie out of that, but I haven't watched it.
He's been in a bunch of stuff. It's the guy. It's the put the lotion in the basket guy.
Oh, Buffalo.
He was our announcer. Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, from Signs of Lambs.
Yeah. I forget his actual name, but he's fucking great. Anyway, we're way off topic. That's all I wanted to cover for Rizin. We haven't talked about Gabby being a fucking mess, have we?
I don't think we should talk too much about it because of how...
Well, apart from it being our artwork this week, as you can see over here, Chris, this is our artwork where it's just Gabby kneeling, looking sad, but like she's acting.
Is she praying to gay Jesus?
she's praying to fake WWE gods that someone is going to buy this shitty performance. Yeah. I do appreciate the chick kneeling next to her though, while giving the interpretation of it, and then the frowns from what's his face,
the Vince McMahon guy.
Yeah, Takada and
the promoter and then
Takada
the chick who hasn't fought in
face?
17 fucking years.
Grandma Chan, as she was referred to on the MMA Vivid section.
Chan?
Grandma Chan, yeah.
Chan is Chinese. What the fuck are they on?
I don't know, man.
Might as well just call her...
I'm sure it's a reference to something I don't get, but I like the reference.
Might as well call her Grandma Miyagi.
I think... you
know what I mean, though? Like,
I think it's a reference to a fighter or something, but anyway... Fucking hilarious. We will wrap this segment here since I don't really have shit else to recap other than
yeah, all I'll say is more than I'd say 3/4 of the fights are very entertaining. The Ian McCall fight can go fuck itself.
Yeah.
I get it. The Japanese don't like blood.
Most of the rest of them were fun.
I don't respect their decision, but that's because I'm biased, because in any other promotion they would have kept fighting.
Yeah, the Burchak fight was fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
There was a lot of fun fights, and I'm actually pretty excited for the card on the 31st, which we are not going to break down, I'm going to be honest, because I don't fucking care. Here's my thoughts. Rina is going to win. Krokop is going to murder an old man named TK, who should have stopped fighting about 17 years ago. What's his face? Gomi is going to get killed, as always. Tenshin is going to knock somebody out who he shouldn't be fighting. And those are probably mostly my thoughts for that card. That's without looking at who's on it. I bet you there's one or two decent fights on it. I just don't remember what they are, and I kinda don't give enough of a fuck. But yeah, I mean it is good. It's good stuff. It's fun, but I don't know. I just don't have a ton of faith in. It'll be fun to see the. You know what? It will be fun to see the end of that bantamweight or atomweight. Nope. What the fuck is the tournament? I guess there's 3 tournaments going on, isn't there? There's bantam, atomweight, and flyweight. Anyway, it'll be fun to see some of those fights.
It's a lot of action, a lot of fights.
Yeah. Rina's gonna murder somebody. Tenshin's gonna murder somebody. Manel Cape versus Kyoji Horiguchi is gonna be fun. That'll be a fun fight. I think Kyoji's gonna fucking murder him, but what are you gonna do? So that's my thoughts on the rest of that. And I'm just sad that the homie King Reina lost, because King Reina is the best. Anyway, we'll wrap this here and we will jump into our 219 breakdown, where we will give our picks. And man, yeah, 219's fun. I feel like we'll talk about it in a minute. But in the meantime, why don't you guys listen to a clip of, oh God, what was it a clip of? Do you remember? Ian Kidd from Three Amigos podcast had an incredible take on the Reebok deal and how fucked it is. That I think people really should catch. So we're going to play that right now.
Mm-hmm. And the biggest thing about it is the UFC saying at the time, fighters are going to get every penny of this. And then it's slyly sneaking in that, the deal, the 70 million includes, product. So, yeah, that's like, oh, hey, we gave you 2 fight kits for your fight, and each of your 2 corners also got 2 fight kits for your fight, and those kits retail for $150 each. So every time someone fights, every time there's a card, there goes $30,000 from the pot. So you multiply that up, and whoops, there goes like a couple of $1 million a year in product. Oh well, like 10 million over the course of the entire thing just vanished into product. We hope no one notices. It's such bullshit.
Here, have these coupons for 50% off.
Alright, we are back. That was a clip of whatever we just listened to. Oh, Ian Kidd breaking down how the UFC is just straight stealing money from fighters at this point. which I thought was a fucking crazy breakdown because it's very clear and concise and it's 100% accurate. So
It sure is, and it's unfortunate too.
it's kind of crazy. It's exactly the kind of shit that would help if they had a union or an association or whatever independent contractors get, which is still crazy that they're independent contractors. Anyway, we are going to go through our picks for UFC 219, Cyborg vs. Holm in Vegas, and I'm pretty hyped about this card. Like, how are you feeling about it?
I think it's good overall. I think it's a solid card.
Like, if it wasn't an end of the year pay-per-view, I feel like it would be dope as shit. But
yeah.
as an end of the year
People were always
pay-per-view,
hyped on the end of the year, so especially when we were treated with
Robbie and fucking Rory 1 year.
217 was insane.
Robbie
And
Rory 1 year
218
for the end of the year card, like
Yeah. Oh no, Robbie and Rory. That was.
or was it the beginning? That was like the one right
189
after,
was in July. That was the one with like McGregor Mendez. That was like in July. That was insane.
Yeah.
That's still some people consider it the best card of all time, arguably as far as review.
Yeah, I
It's
was
like
trying
McGregor
to.
Mendez, Rory, McDonald versus Robbie Lawler 2, and then there's another fight on there.
Oh, then I'm thinking. Maybe I'm thinking Carlos versus Robbie. One of those.
That was 195. That
You're
was
way
this
better
January.
at this than me.
That was this January.
Oh, you're right. That was January.
Wait.
So what
Not
was
this
the
January.
December
It was January
card?
2016.
Oh, it was
I
fucking
lied.
Ronda Rousey, Amanda Nunes was the last card of last year, wasn't it?
207, yeah. Dom Cruz lost to Garbrandt December 30th, yeah.
So like this is.
That was an overall good card.
It was. I would
Yeah.
argue better card.
Yeah. as far
Like
as
more
better fights.
stacked anyway. But I think this card is super competitive and gonna be a lot of fun though.
Yeah.
Like overall, I'm pretty hyped about it, despite losing one of my favorite fights on it, which is kind of a bummer. But we will go ahead and start off at the bottom of the card.
Sure. I
Yeah.
had to say that because that
To
would
be
have
fair,
been, that would have been so sick.
Not his
That catch
fault.
weight, yeah, no.
Not his fault, since it was goddamn Ali Abdelaziz tweeting for him the entire time during all that exchange.
Oh my god.
Where Marlon even said, "Oh no, I never wanted to take that fight. Ali was just sending stuff out from my account." Which is totally the first time Ali has done that. Also, Ali posted that he's mad at people for telling him he should stop being so emotional and reactionary online.
How about Ali, you're a shithead because you talk shit to fighters who would put you in the fucking ground.
All the time. All the time he does
Oh,
it.
I've seen it, yeah.
It's fucking insulting.
Yeah.
And
He said it to
also...
Kevin Lee. He said, I would fuck you up. Sure.
Well, and he like tweeted his Frankie a bunch of times from Ollie's own account because he wasn't paying attention.
Stupid.
And all the Habib shit, like all.
That's
of
what
it.
makes me sad is that's Frankie's manager too. Oh wait, and that's Cody Garbrandt's manager too. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah. Worse.
Okay, to be fair, I'll give him credit for this. Ali seems like a shithead, but he gets people good contracts and good money. That's the only reason why he's their manager. And I
Yes,
know that
but
has
he's
to be the reason
also
why
just-
he gets you money.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, if you're gonna take the lesser of two evils,
Yeah.
go with Malky. Malky is at least incompetent in your favor. Like, he's going to lie and do sketchy shit in your favor, rather than just because he thinks it'll help.
At least he's not on the FBI's most wanted list.
Well, and he's not like Malky isn't tweeting fighters to go fuck themselves and trying to fight them, and like he isn't telling people they're shitheads. Malky is just like lying for you to everyone around you. So it's like
Mr. John Jones had a tainted dick pill.
oh my god, hit the Malky Kawa's motherfucking tainted supplement game is so
Is his
strong.
brother Abraham any much better?
He's great because you
He's
never
cool.
hear from him, and every fighter who works with him loves him. Like
That's
you never,
right.
journalists and like Luke Thomas and those guys love Abraham. He's supposed to be great. Malky, on the other hand, is a goddamn basket case.
Or as you like to call him, salty.
Yeah, Salty Kawa, as I like to call him, or as I am called on other places. Anyway, fucking, we will get back to the card now that we're done talking about the worst managers, yet the biggest managers in MMA. That should probably say something. So, starting off the card, Tim Elliott is taking on
Who was
Mark De La Rosa.
Elliott supposed to fight originally?
He was supposed to fight the guy who just got cut. I forget. Some dude they brought in. Well, I forget who it was originally. Because some other dude got brought in on late notice
Yeah.
to fight Tim Elliott, and then that dude
didn't work out. Yeah, that's why
missed
Elliott got
weight
mad.
by
Like,
a
what the fuck's
fuckload.
going on? Give me his purse.
They dropped
half his purse.
Yeah, the UFC then has since dropped that dude, and now Mark De La Rosa, the husband of Montana De La Rosa, aka Montana Stewart,
Which, by the way, 9-0 with 9 finishes.
yeah, coming out of Kombacha Americas, which is, while not the highest level of like organization or anything.
Check out, by the way, real quick, his last win. It looks like an Indian Latin American, Mahatma Chitbala Garcia Avalos. That is quite the interesting mix.
No, that's Mexican as fuck.
No, but Mahatma's like an Indian name.
Right,
100%. But the last name. But I'm saying,
the
like,
14 names.
Oh,
and
no,
it
no,
being
no, that's what
Kombacha.
no, dude, trust me, I know that. Like, I have a shitload of Mexican friends with, like, fucking 10 names.
Well,
what I'm saying is the fact that his first name is Indian as shit, do you think he's Indian and Mexican?
Maybe.
Or do you think they're like, fuck it, we like Gandhi, let's not call him Jorge, let's call him Mahatma.
I have no idea since I intentionally don't follow Kombacha Americas because I fucking
But
hate
can you just click on his name? I'm just
Cameron
really curious. I just want to see what this guy looks like. It's
Okay.
such an interesting name.
Let's
Sorry.
look at whatever weirdo this is.
He is
From
definitely
Mexico.
doesn't exist. Cool.
He totally exists.
I know, but his picture's not there. No.
Oh, yeah, but
He's called the Spider.
in Extreme Combat.
He's called the Spider. La Araña.
Mazatlan Extreme Fighting, which is a great goddamn name. Inevitable Fight Night.
Yeah.
That is a hell of a name. Also, Black Fighting Championships. Knowing he is Mexican as shit.
I don't know, but the Indians could be pretty black.
I don't know if that's how that works.
I'm kidding.
And
But he is
all-rounder Fight Club.
He is called the
also pretty
Spider,
good.
though. I'll give him that.
Is that what a
La
Rana is?
Araña, that's the Spider. Yeah.
That's funny. Original. Anyway, so yeah, we got...
What's kind of original, too, is Mark is the Bumblebee.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
He likes Transformers or he hates bees. Pick your poison.
Yeah, or he's a big Kid Yamamoto fan.
Yeah.
So which way are you leaning on? Tim Elliott?
I'm going Tim Elliott.
I figured. I'm going Tim Elliott.
Yeah.
I'll
be fair, I don't know much about De La Rosa except it looks like he submits people.
I've heard decent
but so does
stuff
Tim Elliott.
from him, yeah. I've heard decent stuff from De La Rosa. I heard I believe it was Vivisection pointed out that he's pretty good at countering. But if he starts throwing 2 volume, he's also counterable. I forget if it was if you throw volume at him. I don't remember. Go check out the MMA Vivisection for UFC 219 and you can hear the real version of that and not my fucking drunken recollection of it. But I'm leaning Tim Elliott off of experience. Mark De La Rosa is coming in way late notice, and while he has had some experience, he doesn't have nearly the experience Tim Elliott does. Also, Tim Elliott, after coming off of 2 fights that kind of fell apart, or a fight and a half that fell apart since he got an opponent change and then it fell apart. I gotta imagine he is pretty hyped and
he's pretty mad.
Trying to make a statement here. So I am leaning that way. I would not be surprised if Tim Elliott gets outworked in gases though. Is the only thing I'm a little bit worried about. Also, Tim Elliott is coming into this after. This is one of his first fights in a long time without Robert Follis in his corner.
Yep.
And he says that,
but because of that,
admits
I feel like he's gonna have a great performance.
Well, he even admits that he doesn't know how it's gonna affect him, which makes me nervous. The only thing I worry about is him gassing early because of that. Just getting too emotional too early and kind of being a little bit too wild and gassing out, but. Even still, I'm going to lean Tim Elliott. Although, again, like I said, I've heard decent stuff about Mark De La Rosa, so we'll see. Up next, we got Luis Smolka taking on Mateus Nicolau.
A year ago.
That's right.
I think.
Yeah, taking on Mateus.
In a very entertaining grappling affair, yes.
Yep.
Oh, early this year. What the fuck am I talking about?
Yeah, that was this year. Ray Borg and Brandon Brano were last year.
Wow, Luis Smolka didn't get cut for losing 3 in a row.
Nah.
Then again, he's a flyweight.
Well, he's a flyweight, and he's also like those were all
Killers.
well, and they
for
were
the most part.
He was like, I
The
wouldn't.
Brandon Moreno one, he was unranked, and I was surprised.
He got caught by Brandon Moreno. Like he just got caught. For Ray Borg and Tim Elliott, while they were dominant, he hung in there like a motherfucker.
Yeah, especially the Tim Elliott fight too. He hung in there.
Yeah, and he had his moments in it. He just didn't have enough of them. Is the problem. He also, I've been hearing a lot of people talking about how he's drinking less. Like, evidently you should get blackout drunk all the time.
That's not good.
And, well,
if you're a fighter.
If you're a fighter, thank you for qualifying.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want to say I like to get blackout drunk, but sometimes it just happens.
Oh, well, and not gonna lie, you and or I have done this podcast blackout drunk before. One of the two of us at least has.
I definitely have.
I definitely have.
I think we both have.
I definitely probably have in the last 2 months. I would assume. Actually, no. Probably before October. Ooh, actually, that first week back after October, I probably got blacked out.
You weren't blacked out because technically you would have passed the fuck out, and then I would have been like,
no, I'm not a pass out kind of blackout drunk.
Oh, I see. You pass out later when I'm already gone because it leads you there. Yeah, see me.
Like I'll hang in there, but then I'll have to go back and listen to the podcast.
I'll just
'cause I have
spontaneously
zero
just fall
recollection.
asleep and I'm done.
See, I will stay up and keep talking, and then have to hear tomorrow what I did, which is why I am. Well, I was gonna say not drinking that much, but I'm definitely drinking the other one of these fantastic.
Bourbon, whiskey, lemon tea.
It is real good. These are legit fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. It's right up there with the ginger and rum. Anyway, Luis Smolka coming off 3-fight loss streak. And then before that, the win over Ben Nguyen. And then he is taking on Mateus Nicolau. Mateus is coming off the win over John Moraga. Oh, yeah, I guess they say it on there.
Yeah.
It's like one of those things. It's Brazilian names and Mexican names. Like, who knows which ones they go with.
I would just say Mateus Perhea.
I've always heard
Perhea.
Nicolau use this as his last name.
Perhea. Fuck. Yeah, that's how you say it.
Who knows? Anyway,
Perhea.
You want to keep trying that, or you think you got it?
Perhea. I'm kidding. He's not Hawaiian.
Pawewe. Mateus Pawewe.
It is what it is. At the end of the day.
That's right. Pawewe. Okay, so he's coming off of some wins in...
He's got a good win streak going.
Yeah, he's got wins in organizations like Shudo Brazil previously also, which is pretty cool. And then he's got 2 wins in the UFC. 1 win over Bruno Rodriguez Mesquita, which I know I've seen that fight. I just couldn't... I have zero recollection. Which says something since it was a Japanese necktie.
Oh, wow.
But that was 2 years ago.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And then his most recent fight was the win over John Moraga back in 2016 via split decision, which I remember being controversial.
I'll say this. Even though he's lost 3 in a row and this dude's won a bunch in a row, the other dude hasn't really fought. And I know Louis Smoke's a tough son of a bitch. I mean, he got...
He definitely is. He's tough as shit.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Louis Smoka in this one. I don't know by what. Probably decision. But I'm going to take the guy who's fought more recently and has fought more impressive competition. He's definitely fought the who's who fight. Like, you look at the names that Smoka's fought, and you can say, okay, I know these guys, and you look at who Pahea has fought, and it's like, you don't want to say who the fuck are these guys, because you definitely recognize some of the names, but that's where I kind of draw the line, unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but that's where I draw the line when it comes to these close decision-making
Yeah,
fights, so.
I'm on board with you on that one. I am definitely leaning towards Smolka. However, I've heard good shit about Mateus. I know he's tough, and I know he's scrappy, and Louis Smolka can get caught, as he's shown. But first off, I really like Louis Smolka. I like all the Hawaiian dudes. I always lean towards Hawaiian dudes. I don't know why. it's like it's just one of those things.
Speaking of Hawaiian dudes, a new dude at my work at George's, his name is James Medeiros. I kept telling him, dude, I want to call you Yancey. And by the way, coincidentally, he told me he is related to Yancey Medeiros.
Oh,
swear to God. And when I heard his voice, he sounds just like Max Holloway, the guy James, cool guy at my work.
That's hilarious.
And you know what? He looks a lot like Yancey Medeiros. I'm like, fuck yeah.
That's funny.
And he has all the tribal tattoos and everything on his arms.
That's funny. Did you watch MMA?
Yeah, oh yeah. He's like, bro,
shit.
you see Yancey's fighting Cowboy. Fuck yes, I'm gonna take Yancey in that fight. I'm gonna go, fuck. That's a tough motherfucker.
I've been thinking about picking up Yancey on fantasy,
That's a good call. Shit. But yeah, shouts out to
cool,
my coworker James, Yancey's cousin.
Hell yeah. We're gonna have to get that dude on here one of these days.
Yeah,
That's
fuck it.
great. That dude sounds chill as fuck. Anyway, we will keep moving on this UFC 219 card. Up next, we got Marvin Vettori taking on Omari Akhmedov.
Hey, benissimo, Forza Italia,
Yeah.
the prospect.
Vittori.
Only 24 years. Oh, he just had an AMA I read.
Yeah,
I said I watched.
like literally
I
yesterday
read.
or today.
Seems like a really cool
Right?
guy.
Yeah.
Oh. Guy has
Although
some
most
pretty-
dudes do come off well on AMA.
Yeah, I remember this guy has some pretty good jiu-jitsu from what I remember. Well, I mean, look at his finishes of the past couple fights.
I mean, he went to decision against fucking Shoeface. That is crazy jiu-jitsu
and he was
level.
piecing him up in the clinch, too. Shoeface was getting those knees in the gut. So yeah, Vettori being only 24 years old, this dude could go nowhere but up. Clearly,
Yeah.
he's one of those young prospects who's only going to get better.
Yeah, he wins over some decent names like Vitor
However,
Miranda.
who is he fighting? I know I've heard of Omari Akhmedov.
Yeah, Omari Akhmedov, the
from
Wolverine.
Dagestan, of course.
From Dagestan out of ATT, coming off the wins over Abdul Razak Al Hassan and Kyle Noak, and then the losses to Elizu Zaleski dos Santos and Sergio Moraes, but over Brian Ebersol, or who I would call Arrow Chest.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
See, everyone knows. Arrow Chest.
This is interesting.
Which way you leaning?
I think I might actually go with Vettori because I think he's gonna try to counter the guy's sambo with like his Muay Thai with the knees, and I have confidence in Vittori's stand-up striking. I know he's really impressive kicks from what I saw him fight Shoeface and when he fought Miranda, and this kid's young too. If he loses, is that the end of him? Fuck no. The UFC's gonna keep this guy. He's honestly right now the face of Italian MMA. If you think about it,
Yeah.
I mean, as far as Italian-born MMA, like Michael Chiesa represents Italy by heritage, but as far as like by I'm Italian, I'm from there, it's him and Alessio Di, Scusi, Babadi Boopy, whatever you want to call him. You know.
Oh, you're talking to Chirico.
The Chirico, yeah, not so. Oh, so the guy from Bellator, not him, no.
Yeah, well, they just did that terrible event.
Yeah,
over there.
Yeah, that's the Bellator. Yeah,
Did not go well for him.
Yeah, Babadi Boopy, he looked impressive against Bangbosi. He knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, a lot
Everyone
of Italian.
looked impressive in that performance.
He's asked me anything too. He said there's a couple Italian fighters that we should be seeing coming up in the UFC, which is cool, man. And I saw on Instagram too. There's UFC Europe. They have their own page, which is interesting. They represent all the European fighters.
Yeah.
So it's cool, man. It's good for Europe. It's good for Italian MMA. I'm interested to see fighters that come out of Italy. You know. And not just someone that's like, I'm Italian. That'd be like if Matt Serra was like, yeah, I wear the flag, or some shit like that, Which I get it. If you want to, most fighters do it anyway. Let's be real. Aljamain Sterling, Jamaica, what I'm talking about. But, shit like that. But, hey, all the power to you. So.
True. Yeah. So for this one, I'm actually going to lean out Omari.
Go with the grappler, yeah. Not a bad pick. And he's from fucking Dagestan.
It's a Dagestani grappler out of ATT fighting an Italian dude.
Like they said, if jiu-jitsu is easy, it'd be called sambo.
Yeah. Well, I just got to go the wrestler. By the way, if you guys have not noticed yet, I lean wrestler heavy as a motherfucker generally.
Oh, of course, yes. But wrestler or striker.
Well, I don't know why. Like maybe because I grew up around a lot of wrestlers. Maybe because I think wrestling ends up having way bigger of a factor in a lot of fights than striking does.
Well, especially with size disadvantages or advantages too. If you're a tinier guy, but you can wrestle
and
your
pace
ass off.
too. Like
and
wrestlers,
some guys
you can
bigger and they can't wrestle. You're probably gonna get them to the ground.
Yeah, like most of the time you can always count on decent cardio out of majority of decent wrestlers.
Like this guy looks like he's in phenomenal shape.
Yeah, so I'm going that way, but. Yeah, I don't know, man. man.
This next fight,
it's
however,
gonna be close. I already know I'm picking in this one. Dude,
I know I'm actually picking
so
too.
confident. You go first because I'm so confident. First, I'll break it down.
Okay, Miles Jury. The first thing I heard of this guy, he was at Alliance when he was like a young guy, basically.
Yeah,
like
way
20,
back.
21.
Yeah, way back before the Exodus.
Yeah. I remember seeing him on The Ultimate Fighter Season 15 with Dominic Cruz. It was the live season, which they'll never do again because that was kind of weird.
It was great.
I mean, I thought it was a good season.
I like
James
it,
Vick was
but
on there.
it's
They had
terrible
James,
for the fighters.
I think James Krause was on there. Vic was on there. Oh, Justin Edwards, the bald guy who returned for Tough 25 this past year. Remember that? He was on there. There's a bunch of killer fighters out. That season was actually pretty fucking good. Cruz versus Faber. Jury was on Team Cruz because they both trained Alliance. They got to choose my boy. That kind of thing. Jury was 15-0, and then he got destroyed, I think, by Cerrone for his first loss a couple of years ago. And then I can't remember what happened to him. He had a bunch of injuries and concussion issues. He left Alliance. Now he trains at TriStar, I believe.
Is he a TriStar? I thought he was at the MMA lab. Power MMA is where he's at.
Fuck. Well, I know
he's in Arizona.
He was at TriStar. I know that.
I knew he was in Arizona. I don't remember who was at Power MMA. Also, I'm going by Sherdog, so that's probably not updated. I know he's in Arizona with somebody.
Yeah.
I thought he was at the lab, but I could be wrong.
Fuck, I thought it was a TriStar. I'm way off.
No, I know he's in Arizona.
Anyways, I remember.
He went with whatever wrestling coach left Alliance before they brought in what's his face. You've literally met this dude face to face.
I know.
Can't remember his name.
Probably Date. I know Date is like the striking. And
not Day-Day, because Day-Day is the fucking
Daniel Brooks, whatever his name is. That's Day-Day, or I can't remember, but Daniel something.
I can't remember who the fucking...
Because I know Coach Miguel Reyes is the kickboxing and like the main striking coach.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it might be Day-Day.
It might be Dick.
I don't remember.
I can't remember. I met the guy. He's like this white guy, really, or he's a black guy. I know the BJJ guy. Fuck, I can't remember. I should have gone there I only went there like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Fuck, I should have remembered all their names. But
We'll have to
we gotta go to a new facility though, because you can just check it out. Then go fuck. Yeah, might as well just check that shit out.
Aiden, Chris Stanley is a big fan of yours. So.
Yeah. Dude.
Chris Stanley's the best. Chris and Angie are fucking cool as shit. Shouts out to Alliance. Well, if you guys don't know, we're big Alliance homers by now.
You already know how I know. Like, what's up, Kat? She'd be like, hey, college kid that I don't remember.
Yeah, no, she won't. She'd be like,
who the fuck are you, kid?
Yeah. But yes, I am high. But Miles Jury is taking on Rick Glenn, who's coming off the fucking dominant ass win over
Gavin Tucker, who I had confidently picked in Fantasy Flex.
That's right.
Which is why I'm going to go with Rick Glenn this fight. Because Rick Glenn is a motherfucking Team Alpha Male who, in my opinion, although I was biased a couple years ago...
He's at Alpha Male?
He's at Alpha Male, motherfucker. Hell yeah, look at that.
He's at Rufus Sport.
No, he's at Alpha Male.
Pretty
sure he's at Alpha Male.
Someone say he's training with Ben Askren. I don't remember who it was. It might have been Ben Askren.
Pretty sure he's at Alpha Male.
I could have sworn I heard Rick Glenn was training with Ben Askren lately.
He could still be at Alpha Male though. Maybe he's like nomading it.
Yeah, he
I'm
could
dead
be.
serious. Like he is.
No,
Alpha
he could
Male.
be.
Like,
And I know Alpha Male and Rufus Sport are like not unfriendly. You know what I mean? Like I know they affiliate and whatnot. So maybe that's what it is. But I do know that Rick Glenn, like I forget who it was that mentioned it. Somebody did on a podcast, but they did mention Rick Glenn has been training with a lot with Ben Askren. Like Ben has. Well,
that's a hell of a person to fucking train with.
That's why I was almost picking up Rick Glenn in the fucking fantasy league.
Oh, did someone take him?
No, I have Holly Holm and...
Oh, you're just already...
I have Holly Holm in the one where I didn't need anybody, and then I have, what's the other guaranteed fucking big money win on this card? I have somebody else that I was really confident in. I forget. Oh no, I have Khalil Roundtree because Jimmy Rivera.
Oh yeah, dude, if I do well this card, I might actually catch you.
Yeah, you and me are real close on fantasy league.
21 points behind you.
It's to the point where I need you to start losing some fucking fights.
Well, let's see what I have real quick.
Otherwise, I could be in real trouble. But I do have Holly.
See, you got Holly Holm. I'm scared about that, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like I had
See,
to
you know
make
my
it-
two fights are
I
Tim
basically had to
Elliott. I have
gamble.
Tim Elliott and Edson Barboza.
See, I had to gamble. I was like, listen, Chris is gonna catch me if I just play this shit too safe. Just because you hit too consistently, generally on these fights. For me to fucking not have to like make some big wagers, and I'm only up by like 20 points or whatever, which is like it's like 2 fights basically.
Oh
It's
no!
like
If
I lose
both
a fight
your
and you
fighters
win
do
a fight,
nothing,
yeah.
and say 2 of my fighters
No, I only have 1. And all my shit is flex
So
now
say
too.
Tim Elliott gets a finish, that's by at least 10.
Well, all my shit's flex now
And say
too.
Barboza knocks out Habib, that's about 20 guaranteed. I take the lead. And I'm
Yeah.
in the lead for 12 points.
No,
too.
because if Holly wins, then I get half
No,
of
but I'm saying
whatever
that's what I'm
she
saying. If
gets.
Holly doesn't win, like
Yeah.
that means I'm guaranteed gonna be in the lead. And,
Yeah, so it'll be interesting for sure.
We'll see.
It's
Wow.
gonna be close, but I do have like a couple decent like. I don't have a terrible lineup, but my lineup isn't like top notch. I would have killed this motherfucking corner
if Bisping had
Bisping
come
and
through.
JJ had come through. Like I figured, really Bisping and JJ. Like I'm still heartbroken about those. Oh, and I'm the dude who's been saying for now a year and a half on this podcast that Rose is the hardest challenge for JJ. Like we were
I'm
saying
so
that like
surprised
a year and a half
or
ago.
I did. That's kind of like
Well, because I had
ironic.
JJ, so I was like,
Yeah, well,
oh,
you gotta go
dog.
for- yeah.
I gotta go JJ. Like,
All right, but either way, I'm
Yeah.
going with Rick Glenn because I liked his performance against Gavin Tucker.
Yeah.
Miles Jury, he did beat the fuck out of Mike De La Torre, and he looked impressive. But I gotta go with Glenn here, man. He really impressed me with the work he put in. And
yeah, same. And I like Miles Jury a lot. He's super cool on the underground. He's always been a really nice guy. And he's made some big improvements in the last couple fights. But just if Rick Glenn is training with Askren, like I've heard, I don't pick against people who train with Askren like that because Miles Jury's game is going to be grappling. Like in this fight, Rick Glenn, I think, easily wins the stand up in this matchup. So I'm definitely in that way. And up next we got I'll let you go ahead and pronounce that.
we have Michael Alexichuk
Yeah, I believe it's Alexichuk.
versus Khalil Roundtree.
Yep. Which is a fun fight. Alexichuk, who is has a nickname Lord that I will use from now on.
Michael Lord Alexichuk
the
from
Pol-
Poland.
the
Barky,
Pol-
Poland.
Yeah, the Polish Lord has a bunch of wins in
In a row, wow.
Weird leagues like FEN and TFL over dudes who I've never heard of. And he is taking on Khalil Roundtree, who Khalil Roundtree has a win over Paul Craig and Daniel Jolly in his last 2 fights via first round knockouts. Then before that had a sub and a decision loss to Tyson Pedro and Andrew Sanchez.
Yeah, I'm going with Khalil Roundtree here. Only mainly because Alexichuk I don't know too much about, except that he's super young as shit, and that, granted, he has an impressive win-loss, but it's all about who you fight. And unfortunately, like I've said this time and time again, if it's not a promotion that's close to the UFC, it's really hard for me to kind of be confident in picking you, and that's why I'm gonna have to. I just have to go with Khalil Roundtree with his knockout power and just the way he kind of he's such a good pressure fighter.
Yeah.
I just have to do it.
I'm 100% on board. I have Khalil Roundtree in my other fantasy league. Also, if you go back and watch that Ricardo Nasiglia, however you want to pronounce that fight.
Nasiglia, that's like an Italian name.
Sure, yeah. The guy who fought Lester
Yeah,
Check.
actually, that is super Italian, the way he spells it.
Yeah, the guy-
Ricardo Nasiglia.
The guy who fought him previously, he lost the first minute of that fight via a lot of shots to the face, and then ended up winning. Like, he literally...
So he got boppity boopy?
No, he got Neil Magny, where he just got bodied in the face and head for like a good minute and 10 seconds.
Yikes.
And then eventually was able to turn the tide after the guy started slowing down because he got tired of hitting him. So, I'm definitely leaning Khalil Roundtree via probably first round knockout. maybe second, but I think Roundtree by KO is at least Roundtree inside the distance. I feel like it's a really smart and decent pick. The only thing that could worry me at all is like maybe dude gets weird and scrambly, and like maybe, but like Khalil Roundtree's not terrible on the ground either. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't really see a way for Oleschek to take much of that fight.
This next fight, okay.
Then we're to our main card.
Yeah.
Condit versus Magny.
Carlos Condit came out of retirement, earlier this year?
Yep, Damian Maia. Or no, that was last year.
But he retired pretty much immediately after that because of brain damage.
Right. No, just take time off. He had a lot of personal stuff going on.
I know I remember in an interview with, I think it was Chael Sonnen or someone, talked about a business he set up. Or
Yeah, he's got a coffee company now.
Yeah, plans outside of MMA, which is smart. Good on him.
As everyone should.
As far as the welterweight size go, this guy's 6'1", very lanky, strong guy. I guess kind
I'm
of...
about the fucking murderer also, we should mention.
I'll just tell you right now, I'm going with Carlos Condit, even though he's been out for a year. Neil Magny, yes, he's a very tall, lanky fighter too. Extremely long reach for a welterweight.
Yep.
However, he lost to a guy in RDA while RDA is a fucking beast.
I mean, RDA
He's
just beat up
5'8".
Robbie Lawler.
I know RDA is 5'8". Come on, if you're 6'3" and you're fighting someone who's that much shorter than you and you're way longer, you should be able to kind of just reach and fight to your advantage and scramble. Granted, RDA is a different beast when it comes to grappling. It's able to take him to the ground, submit him. So technically, that's not really a fair assessment because RDA is just way above Neil Magny as far as pure skill, and yeah, he's just above him. He's just better than him in pretty much every facet of the game.
Yeah. The real question comes down to how does Carlos look after a year off?
Because this is the thing though too. Neil Magny
over a year off, like
he the guy
year
who
and
looked
4
fucking
months.
fantastic against Lorenz Larkin with like this dude's kick.
He looked good against Lorenz. No, he got killed by Lorenz.
Oh,
Larkin.
I had it backwards. Excuse me. Lorenz
You're
Larkin was
thinking
the one
Johnny
who killed
Hendricks.
him.
Yeah.
Yes. Even though that fight against John Hendricks still looked like doo-doo. Because that was a weird back and forth fight.
That was like a close fight, but he took that shit.
Oh yeah, he took it, but still close.
Hector Lombard murdered him in the first
Yeah,
half
I
of
would
the
say
fight.
this, dude. I'm sorry, I'm still going with Carlos Condit. I'm going fuck.
Yeah, no,
He just did such a war with Robbie Lawler.
I'm going with Carlos Condit too.
Yeah, no.
Carlos Condit, first off, is like these are both like some of the nicest dudes in the sport.
Or as Trevor calls him, Carlos Conduit. But I get it.
A lot of people do that,
I
and
know.
it drives me goddamn nuts. And every time I go, you mean Condit? And they just look at me like they don't
Like
know
the
what
same
I'm talking about.
science class. Bro.
Right. I'm like, also.
I don't even remember what a conduit is. Isn't that like some sort of like conductor and energy or something?
No, or it's like a conduit. Yeah, which explains why Trevor would say that because he's a goddamn
engineer.
Chemical engineer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I gotta go Carlos. I like Neil Magny a lot. I think he's fucking super cool and like always chill as shit. But if Carlos Condit is a fraction of what Carlos Condit was, and he throws any amount of leg kicks in this fight, I like Carlos Condit. The only thing that worries me is like if Neil Magny can get a takedown early and really like throw some big elbows or anything off top. Carlos Condit did get fucked up pretty badly by Damian Maia via elbows, and like even said like, "Yo, he hit me with one shot on the ground and I was really fucked up," which Damian Maia doesn't really do to guys a ton. I mean, he does, but not like Carlos. It looked like the shit that he got hit with wasn't like crazy. It wasn't like full mounted, like full extension shit. It was like short chopping. Like he leaned into it the wrong way or something, but so it's definitely a toss up. But yeah, I gotta go Condit. And up next, we gotta. This one's pretty interesting, man.
I'll tell you this right now. Little disclaimer: I haven't seen Carla Esparza fight in a while, at least not to my recollection.
You have. You saw her fight Marina Moroz.
No. I saw her fight Randa Marcos.
Oh, yeah, that too. And that was super close.
Yeah.
That could have literally gone to either one of them. I actually had it for Carla.
Yeah.
Like, that was a close fight.
Carla Esparza being the inaugural strawweight champion from that one season of Tough. It was like a Tough 22, 23. No, 21. Excuse me. No.
You would know better than me. Somewhere
20.
in there.
20. It was before Black Zillions and American Top Team. It was top 20.
So you're way better at
Yeah.
this than me. I'm terrible at numbers and dates.
Yeah.
Ask my girlfriend, who keeps telling me what day her birthday is, like every month.
Oh, shit.
She's like, oh, yeah, you know...
Wait,
you,
isn't it the end of January, which is why you're going to Vegas?
I know it's the end of January.
Yeah.
It's the
I think
day
it's like
part.
I think it's like 30th or something.
26th.
Right? Or 26th, yeah, I don't know.
I've had it fucking drilled into my head enough times by both my girlfriend and the homie at work, who's a chick, who my girlfriend drilled it into, to where now, yeah, the both of them are now tag teaming me, no homo, on it. So they're both chicks. I don't know how it'd be homo.
But
But
now you made
anyway,
it weirder.
I did. I really did. Fucking anyway, we'll keep moving. The Cookie Monster is taking on Cynthia Calvillo. Calvillo, of course, turning out an alpha male as of late. Excuse me. Win over Calderwood. Win over Poe Gonzalez and ABC. Carlos Esparza coming off the win over Marina Moroz, lost to Random Marcos. Win over Juliana Lima, who I always forget is a person in that division. And then lost to JJ, of course, for the belt. Carlos only fights actually Carlos fought twice this year.
Okay.
Which, she was normally fighting on, a once-a-year schedule before that.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy that she's fought 3 times this year, or twice this year, and this will be the 3rd. I didn't know that. That's interesting. She did get the win over Marina Moroz, the Iron Lady. Marina Moroz is the Iron Lady, right?
I think so, yeah.
'Cause she's the one that fought... No. She's not the Iron Lady.
Clicker?
No.
No, the Iron Lady is Jermaine Durand to me.
No.
No, that's Jermaine Durand.
Is it?
The Iron Lady is Jermaine
So
Durand.
I always mix up Jermaine Durand-me,
Watch,
Marina Moroz.
Click on Marina Moroz. What is she?
No, you're right.
It's TV.
And then who's the person we saw fight Holly in person?
Oh, that was Mary Renault. That was Mary Renault.
So Mary Renault's the Iron Lady.
No, that's GDR.
Sure.
I'm like 80% sure.
I'm pretty. Boom! Marina Moroz, the Iron Lady.
Okay, I was wrong. Then who the fuck is GDR? Wait, look that up. I swear she's Iron something. I swear she's Iron something. Iron Woman. Maybe she's just.
I forgot the. Oh god.
Just type in Jermaine.
Fucking sure.
GERMA. Yeah.
Jermaine.
Oh, she is too. I was right.
Oh, they're both the Iron Lady.
We're both right.
Oh, okay, so that's why we get so fucked up about this.
I was like, I'm 80% sure we're both right.
Oh,
That's
okay.
hilarious. Yeah, she is too.
I've never made that association
That's
before.
funny.
But that explains why I always confuse them.
Yeah.
So I've confused them for fucking 2 or 3 years now.
I guess the Iron Woman doesn't sound as cool.
Well, but Holly fought a 115er. Yeah,
Holly
because she
fought a
moved down.
115er.
No, because she fought Marina Moroz. Marina Moroz moved down to 115.
Dang, she must be
Right?
flexible with her weight.
Hold on,
That's
let
insane.
me pull this up.
That sounds chaos.
Where is it?
That means she just didn't cut any weight. No, that's all that means. That means Marina
Marina.
Moroz didn't cut any weight and said,
Well,
fuck
yeah,
you, fight
she's
it.
from fucking UK. No, she's not. She's from Europe.
She's
From
Swedish?
Ukraine.
Ukraine. Oh, she's basically Russian.
Didn't she fight? Okay, I'm making shit up now.
Fake news?
She fought Valerie Letourneau. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Who the fuck did Holly fight that I'm thinking of?
Well, she fought Mary Holm. She fought Mary Renault. That's when we saw her fight.
Is it Marion Renault?
Yeah, we saw her fight Mary Renault in San Diego. Here, see that?
So what's Marion Renault's fucking nickname?
The Bruiser.
Okay. Sure.
We're way off.
They're all the same to me. I don't know why Marion Renault and I can't even remember her name right now. Marina Moroz. Okay, that's why.
No.
They sound very similar.
Whatever.
I've got 100% always mixed them up.
All right, so
it's
now
not
to
great.
this
Anyway.
fight. Both these fighters are grapplers for sure, at least from Carla, unless she's a striker. And I'm way off.
No, Carla is 100% a wrestler. Cynthia Calvillo is more of a BJJ player than a wrestler.
That's what I'd say, yeah.
But
Well, yeah, I said she's a grappler.
She's good in
yeah.
scrambles
Yeah.
for sure. And she's not an alpha male.
Part of me really wants to say Cynthia Calvillo, but I almost think like this is definitely a step up in competition too. I don't know.
Huge step up in competition, in my opinion. Especially since JoJo is a good style matchup for Cynthia Calvillo.
That was like
Carla's not.
That was a close fight, even though it was definitely unanimous for Cynthia. So.
And Carla is not JoJo is easily wrestleable, and like if you can just get JoJo to exchange and grappling exchanges, you can really tire her out.
I think I'm gonna go with Carla on this one. I feel like she's be able to stuff a lot of takedown exchanges from Cynthia. And I think it's going to get who has the better stand-up. But then again, I can't even really remember Cynthia. I remember she has like a good jab. She has decent boxing, I think.
They both have pretty good...
It's weird.
Well,
I don't know.
No.
I can't remember. See, I just don't... I don't know.
Cynthia has a very good jab.
I remember her jab.
She has okay striking. It's a little wild. She definitely is getting some alpha male influence, where it's a lot of like that weird shifting combinations they like to throw, where they're Uriah Faber. I'm gonna sit down real hard on 3 punches, but I'm gonna fake which 3 I'm gonna throw.
She was talking about too. I think her striking coach is Cody's uncle, Meese, Robert Meese, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
His name is, yeah.
Tattoo boy.
They call him Stingray. Yeah, because I remember
they call him.
Josh Emmett was talking about it. He said, "Yeah, my striking coach Stingray." You know, Cody's uncle.
Yeah.
Which, granted, he was like a boxing champ or amateur champ.
Sure.
He's a great boxing coach.
Yeah, and he's the one that Brendan Schaub calls a terrible tattoo artist because of the upper lip on fucking Cody's leg.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So I'm actually going to go Cynthia in this.
Cynthia, yeah. I wanted to, but I'm not sure.
The only reason is, like, on experience alone... and on just quality of competition, Carla should 100% take this fight. However, Carla freezes up hard on the feet a lot of times, and Cynthia throws a lot of volume, which I think could make that a bigger problem. Also, I heard I believe it was Vivisection mentioned, which I thought was a brilliant insight, that both these girls, it was either Vivisection or Sherdog. Actually, you listen to Sherdog, so you'll be able to tell me. But both these girls, the way they are able to initiate their striking exchanges is generally after they get a good wrestling exchange in. Like, their striking both improves after they get a grappling exchange in, because then they get more confident. Especially Esparza more than either of them.
Yeah.
Which I think Calvillo, if Carla just tries to wrestle Calvillo, I think she might get tapped. Calvillo's ground game is really slick,
especially off her back.
Yeah, exactly. And Carla's known to get a little bit complacent in fights, especially early on, whether it be on the feet or just on the ground. Like, Carla's had a pretty rough outing. Off and on. Like, to be fair, she hasn't actually gotten subbed since Megumi Fuji back in 2010, but she definitely will put herself in positions that she shouldn't have, just because she is feeling like she wants to be the one grappling, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Cynthia. I'm not real confident. I think the smart pick is probably Carla in this. But I just have so little faith in Carla's striking at this point that I have trouble leaning that way at all. So we'll keep on moving on.
This next fight is kind of
bumped up from the Fight Pass feature fight all the way to the co-main.
Yeah, this is interesting because I feel like Mark Diakiese striking alone should take this. I know I've seen Dan Hooker fight, I think he's a grappler, if I recall, but I actually kind of have no fucking clue either.
Who's that?
Dan Hooker.
Yeah, definitely.
He's like a grappler /
I mean,
wrestler, right?
he's got range.
He has beaten Ross Pearson via wicked KO. So
yeah,
that's impressive.
But he's mostly known for being nasty on the ground.
And it looks like he has a terrible fucking weight cut too, based on his picture. Or just a brutal weight cut, I should say.
I mean, he's looking real drawn out in that picture.
He looks like death. Oh, wait, he is 6 foot. Holy fuck.
Holy shit, he's this... Oh, so he's a James Vick type.
He's a giant for lightweight. He probably cuts about 35 pounds.
Yeah, literally a James Vick type. like little. Looks like
No,
he's cutting
James
down.
Vitt's even bigger. He's like fucking 6'2".
Right, but I would say they're both
yeah.
cutting from like around
Yeah,
200.
Yeah, it's chaos.
Yeah.
Please go to 170 and gain a little more muscle.
I mean, he made weight fine.
Okay, well, fuck it. It's his body. If he's not damaged, whatever. All the power to you. Just
I
like
mean,
Ferguson, technically, he's probably being damaged. He's 5'11".
I guess Darren Till is the new example of
Yeah,
like
Jared Till is insane.
yeah,
That dude is huge.
it's crazy.
Like he's 6'1", but he's big. He's
humongous.
That's why he calls himself the gorilla. He literally has like fucking wide shoulders and goes like that dude is nuts. I rewatched that fight against Cowboy. Holy fuck, does that dude have range? With his
It's
strikes.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, pinpoint
I
accuracy.
really hope it's him versus Usman, but then I kind of
I love that
I
fight.
kind of don't though, because then they'd be eliminating one of two.
I want one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd rather one of them
Fuck that
fight Colby
Fuck that fight.
and one
Yeah,
of
no,
them
fuck
fight
that
Damian.
Yeah, fuck that fight. Yeah, no, you got to keep the prospects rolling.
Like I'd rather bump people down the line than kill the two prospects because you can't just keep feeding people the Wonderboy Thompson and then like making it so that we have to watch a third one of those. Because I don't want to. As much as I like the first.
Dude,
fight.
Darren Till says he wants to fight Perry. He says fuck the rankings.
Yeah, no, they should make that.
They'll
fight.
do that next probably.
They should, because like, what the fuck are you doing? Or Santiago. I'd watch Till fight Santiago.
Ooh, that'd be a good fight.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
and Till doesn't want none of that shit. Because Santiago's got solid grappling. He doesn't want any part of that bullshit.
That'd be a really good
that's why I think that's why he's asking still for Perry over Santiago. Because like he didn't change his tone at all after that win. He's like, "Nah, I want Perry." You're like, "All right, motherfucker." But anyway, Dan the Hangman Hooker
From New Zealand.
That's right. Taking on Mark Diakese. And man.
Mark Diakese fighting out of England, I think by the way of the Congo, if I recall.
Something like that, yeah. And then Dan, of course, fighting out of New Zealand.
But then again, that's like France and Ngannou fighting out of France by way of Cameroon. So, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, wherever. At this point, I'm like, wherever you say you're from, I'm just gonna go with that. So Dan Hooker is coming off the win over Mark Pearson.
Mark Pearson is right?
Nope. I combined Mark Adiva and Ross Pearson.
Mark Cross.
That's right. He's coming off the win over Ross Pearson, lost to Jason Knight, win over Mark Adiva, and lost to Yair Rodriguez back in 2015. Jesus.
This fight that Diakese had against Drakkar Klose was very close, pun intended.
I mean, it was a split decision.
Yeah, I had that with Klose. I had Klose in that one, actually.
I did too.
Yeah. I like Diakese. I think he's still pretty... Oh, yeah, he's actually... Holy fuck, he's really young.
Super young.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm actually going to go with Dan Hooker in an upset. I know Diakese is very explosive with the strikes. I think Dan Hooker's a tough motherfucker.
Super tough.
And I think he's going to try to... I think he's just going to wrestle fuck Diakese. I think that's what's going to happen. Diakese's going to get in too close. He's going to grab onto him and just bring him to the ground and just do a lot of ground and pound. I don't know, though, that much, so because I haven't seen him fight that much. So maybe I'm fucking have no idea what I'm talking about.
I mean, I could see it. I'm going to go Diakese.
But yeah, I know he's a smart bet.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go Diakese not really off of any other confidence than he is scrambly as fuck. He's really good in transitions.
Yeah,
and I feel like...
I'm not going to change that pick, though. I don't want to be a bitch.
No, I feel like Hooker is a solid pick, too. Like, Hooker, I feel like is actually low-key the smarter pick of the two. Diakese is so motherfucking wild. Like, betting on him, I feel a little, like, betting on him is like betting on Paul Daly, is how I feel about him.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, I know what you can do, and I know you can do that well, but I know you have about maybe a round and a half of cardio in you for that, and your wrestling isn't awesome.
Oh, dude, I watched his fight against Rory, like, damn.
Well, it's still not that bad. Like, to be fair to what's his face, Mark Diakese, wrestling is way better than Paul Daly's wrestling as of late, anyway. But Diakese throws so fucking hard and puts himself so off balance when he strikes that, like, he leaves big openings. Like, this is a classic, like, is the straight punches of Hooker going to beat out the winging crazy shit of Diakese? And yeah, Hooker's probably the smart pick, honestly. Even though I think he's probably the underdog. I don't know. I haven't looked at lines in a while. I generally try to avoid lines before we do these because I feel like
I don't check them only so they don't.
much.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to influence my picks. That's why I
Yeah.
don't look at lines at all anymore.
And I feel like
we used to do that last year. We'd pick up
well, and eventually we will again.
Yeah,
start looking
why
at
not?
Lines,
for
just,
listeners who want to
like
bet.
afterward. Well, and when I'm betting again because I'm not betting shit on.
I
fights.
don't bet.
I was doing so terrible for such a stretch there.
There's
I
only
was
one
like,
fight I'd bet on,
I'm
and
not-
that's coming up. So
Yeah, there. Every once in a while, to be fair, there is these like one or two fights where I'm like, motherfucker, I'll put money on that shit. Speaking of which, we will keep moving on.
we got my boy on my fantasy squad, Edson Barboza versus Habib the Eagle Nurmagomedov.
That's right, and Brendan Schaub this week was out there suggesting that everybody, like, if he was going to tell everyone an underdog to bet on, or a fighter that he thinks people should bet on, it's Khabib. Not an underdog, but just a fighter that he's so fucking confident in winning. He's been saying Habib, but he also just hung out with Josh Thompson recently, and Josh Thompson was talking up how dope Habib is.
I'll say this. Okay. Edson definitely, I think, is probably the best striker in this division, not named Connor, as far as what he can do, like, early. What he can do
I
early.
honestly think he's a better striker than Connor.
Okay, yeah, he's more technical than Connor, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely
Like,
more technical. He can do
have
more. Yeah,
he doesn't have the timing or the accuracy of Connor, but he, like, if you were
He's
going to
more
go...
athletic, 100%. He can do more.
And he
yeah.
has a way wider variety of strikes
Yeah,
that he's able
he
to
could
hit.
do more. If you ask him to
more
do things more, he could do it.
consistently,
Habib, I
But
think...
Connor's got, like, five
this is weird.
things
Honestly,
that he
this
loves.
is, like, you know how there's that coin flip fight? This is the coin flip fight for me, mainly because, say Habib shoots earlier, not even shoots, what he'll do, I think, is he'll throw, like, some sort of looping wide right transition
Every
into
time.
a takedown, which
Loves
he does.
the big right hand
He goes
into,
like this with his
into a
hands,
body
and
lock.
throws an elbow,
Yeah.
kind of goes down. So what he'll do, he'll have to watch out for that knee by Barboza from what happened to Beal Dariush. Granted, that wasn't even really with the takedown.
True, but Habib normally likes the body lock.
And this is the thing too. Habib, aka trains with killers. Like he's been sparring with Luke Rockhold, 100%.
Yep.
With an athletic striker. That's why this one's a toss up. Like I think I favor Habib 100%. Like probably most people, I think he probably will win. He should win. But my hunch is kind of I want to go with Barboza, thinking he'll put on volume early but I don't know
Habib
his
is so
takedown. I don't know his
hittable, too.
takedown defense though.
I
have no idea. I
His
literally have
takedown
no
of
fucking clue.
defense
Or
isn't
sprawling.
incredible. His ability to get up from takedowns is very good.
This is why it's such a fucking tough pick for me, man. Like, I want to go Barboza because I like going
It's a tough pick either way. Like, I feel like everybody is pretty much kind of on the same page about this fight, where it's like, either way you pick,
Because, dude,
there's
even if
zero
he does some
confidence.
spinning shit, I think Habib will just telegraph that and just be like, okay, sorry, and just, like, fucking pick him up and launch him on the goddamn ground.
Yeah, just eventually Rafael dos Anjos' ass for 45
I don't
minutes.
know. I think I'll just play it safe and go with Habib in this. I don't know though. Yeah, I don't know if Habib could. I don't know if he could submit it. Well, I don't know Barboza. And I'm assuming he's okay at grappling or jiu-jitsu.
He's good on the ground for sure. I mean, he's at a Mark Henry gym. He's good on the ground.
All we know is that if Habib gets anyone to crucifix, it's kind of like good night, Irene.
Or it can gift wrap you, or
Yeah,
if he can just put weight
Because
on you for
overall,
2
people
rounds.
argue Habib's one of the most overall best wrestler grapplers in
Well, and the
it's
pressure and pace
crazy.
he puts on dudes.
It's crazy.
Breaks motherfuckers.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
like
just
that
those
Michael
hammer
Johnson
fists. Yeah, those
shit.
hammer fists and shit.
That Michael Johnson shit where he's
You know,
like,
I must get title shot. You know this.
Dana, don't make me keep doing.
Yeah, he said, I
Please,
do not want to
just
break
quit.
your arm. Yeah, I do not want to break your arm.
I have to fight for title.
Where is
Like,
your
oh
son?
my God.
Where is your son?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just the
Yeah.
scariest shit of all time.
So you know what? Maybe based on his drive and the fact that he made weight, I don't know. Maybe he's just got like something inside. I don't know. It's weird. This is the weird. It's not. It's the best fight I think overall in the card. I think as far as just the way they match up.
Oh,
Well, no,
this
maybe
and the main event.
Yeah, the main
are
event.
really,
I'd say it's a tie.
are really, really interesting.
I don't know. You know what? It's weird.
Also, Jerry Ricklin is low-key probably a third.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going Habib, dude. I can see it in my mind right now. It's going to start off where Barboza's like tentative with his striking like this. Throws a couple things that Habib just takes him to the ground. And then it's going to be like that. It's going to be wrestle fucking for 3 rounds, 2 out of 3 rounds, and he'll just hammer fist him and just transition. And that's going to be it. I think that's going to be it the whole time. Can I see Barboza clipping him? Fuck yeah. He can knock him the fuck out, of course. But I think realistically, Habib's too smart for that. He's going to project it and he's going to take it to the ground. It's going to be a boring wrestle fuck. I don't want to say the word boring because that's insulting
Dude,
to people.
even if Habib wrestle fucking
He'll make it entertaining. Yeah,
so dominant.
yeah. I'm going Habib. I just got to do it. I mean, I can see Barboza Barboza could fucking knock out anyone in the division realistically. Like with his skills. So
they both could easily win this fight. I'm also going Habib. Just because I can't not pick Habib. We've already established this earlier. I pick wrestlers generally. Kevin Randleman, my motherfucking dude. When I was first coming up watching MMA, that was the dude. I was like, Kevin Randleman is the shit. Fuck everybody else. He won the fight against Boss. Y'all can eat a dick. And I'm a big Kevin Randleman fan. That being said, I still think Ben Askren whoops his ass. But that also plays into my wrestling bias. And I love the tweet Askren put out this week. Like, somebody asked him, like, oh, hey, so-and-so, I forget who it was, said that their favorite potential match or their favorite dream matchup would be you and Habib. To Askren, and Askren's like, oh, I'll answer this right now. Number 1, I would kill him. Number 2, I am way too motherfucking big. And he's like, hey, and I think it was something along the lines of, I do everything he does, but way better. You're like, yeah, motherfucker, I kind of agree. So, I love it. I think, I'm gonna go Habib. Edson Barboza is so fucking scary. Especially in the sense that, like, something that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about. People were talking about, like, oh, you can't throw low kicks at Habib because he's going to take you down. Which is, like, I agree. I think throwing low kicks is a terrible game plan. Like, on the Hammer MMA, one of them said, like, oh, no, why would Edson not throw low kicks? That's dumb. And I think it was Dave was like, no. Or Steve was like, no, it was Dave. I think Steve might have been the one that said, why would you not throw low kicks? You're like, that is guaranteed getting taken down by Habib if you're throwing low kicks. But high kicks are different. It's way harder to catch a high kick than a low kick. Like, I wouldn't advise any body kicks or leg kicks necessarily from Barboza. Like, the only thing I would say is the things I've heard of most kickboxers say is...
I think Barboza go with the knee. If he's
it's knee, front kicks, or high kicks. Yeah. Because high kicks are very hard to catch, and you can, against a dude like Habib, you can kind of throw him out there if you're far enough away. The only thing you just still have to keep your balance enough to sprawl. But, that's how Mirko made a living in Pride, is by not throwing leg kicks, but just throwing high kicks at wrestlers. Because eventually they'll lean the wrong way, and you'll catch a motherfucker. Or eventually, they'll lean into something. And, similar to, who got the knee, Marlon Moraes. You try to land the high kick, but the wrestler comes in while you do it, so you catch him with the knee anyway. Marlon said, he's like, I was trying to land a high kick, but Aljo came in, and I caught him with the knee. So, I'm also leaning Habib. I'm going to go Habib, but I would, again, not be surprised if Barboza catches him with something fucked up. And Barboza hits so goddamn hard that, while we have not ever really seen Habib that fucked up, he's the dude to do it. If there was gonna be this is the old school ass UFC 20, UFC 15, UFC 10 style, old school style matchup where it's one dude's a kickboxer, one dude is a wrestler, but they can both do both a little bit. How's that gonna go? It's like a old title fight at UFC 25 or whatever, you know. So I think it's going to be very fucking cool. And I love classic style matchups like that, which actually leads us into our main
Speaking of
event.
classic style matchups, you have Christian Justino, aka Chris Cyborg, versus the former bantamweight champion Holly Holm. Holly Holm being the counter striker and Cyborg being the more pressure fighter.
Yep. Holm
Pressure striker?
100% the counter fighter. Chris can kind of go either way. Chris is a bit of people sleep on the fact that Chris is kind of a pressure striker who likes to counter fight. She likes to force you against the cage and then just sit there until you do something, kind of Tyron Woodley style. Like, she'll just pressure you so much and throw kind of bullshit at you until you actually commit to something.
Yeah.
And then she'll just light you on fire with like a 6-punch combination with like a liver kick in the middle of it and like weird shit that you're like, why would you?
All right. Well, I'll say this: as far as the lead up to this fight, if you're betting money on this, bet on Holly Holm 100%. I think she's still right now the 3-1 underdog. That's great odds. The fact that she's a counter striker and Chris Cyborg likes to press forward. I'm not saying this is kind of going to sort of look like what Holly Holm did to Ronda Rousey, because I highly doubt that, because Chris Cyborg can actually strike and throw hands. Not to discredit Rousey much, but I've lent it more on her coaches. Fuck you, Edmund. Yeah, fuck you, Edmund. So, who am I picking this fight? I've gone back and forth with this all week.
I have too.
Part of me really sees Holly Holm winning via decision. I can really just see that happening. She's so good at just keeping away.
Plus, we haven't really seen Cyborg go 5.
And Holly has decent takedown defense. She really does. I really think so, based on at least what happened against someone like Ronda.
Or even Misha.
Strong.
Like, people sleep on the fact that, yes, Misha did get her down at the fucking last round and choke her out.
The last
but,
30 seconds. Yeah.
But, that was just a crazy scramble. It wasn't, any technique or anything.
And it's weird, too. Like, part of me, the lead starts. Cyborg thinks, oh, well, she'll press her against the cage and just wrestle her. But I can't remember the last time I just saw Chris Cyborg ever deliberately say, I'm going to wrestle her right now and take her to the ground. And
it's pretty rare. When she's swarming, she'll throw a double leg in every once in a while. Her coach is Jason
Perillo. I know Perillo's a fantastic striking coach, and I know Chris Cyborg has counter-striking in her, but I'm sorry, Holly Holm is still the more technical and better striker overall, in my opinion, as far as the boxing goes. And it's...
Well... I don't even know if I agree with that. She is more...
But she's counter-striker, though, yeah, because that's still kind of... It's different styles, so it's kind of, unfair. It's like apples and oranges.
She's more technical. She's not nearly as effective.
Yeah.
Holly Holm, I believe is Isn't there Heavy Hands of the Vivisection mentioned that Holly Holm isn't as good at... what a lot of times people say makes a great fighter is the ability to slip not 3 inches but half an inch, so that way you're way more in range to come back.
Yeah.
And Chris Cyborg is one of the best at that. Now she gets caught a lot, but she has a crazy chin, which helps. Holly Holm has a lot of movement and not a lot of output. That's actual points-landed output.
She's like a point fighter, counter striker.
She is, and that's what I've always said. That's why we were in the stadium when she fought, not Marion Renault.
Well, no, that's who.
Was it Marion Renault?
She fought
not Marina Moreau. It was Marion Renault. So when she fought Marion Renault, I fucking always do this. When she fought Marion Renault in that stadium, everyone was booing. We were at the fucking sports arena. And it's because no one understands, that's what she does. She is a point fighter who relies on counters. So unless you sprint at her, ain't shit gonna happen and she's gonna outpoint you.
Yeah, so I basically what it comes down to, my pick is actually I keep arguing it, but I'm actually gonna go with Cyborg in this fight. I think lately, from what I've seen, she hasn't been as aggressive coming forward. She didn't come forward that much against Tanya Evinger, who's a very good wrestler.
Because Tanya's super tough,
and she was still able to pressure her against the cage. Do I think Tanya has good footwork as Holly Holm? Probably not. She probably can't get away.
100% she does.
Yeah.
But she has better wrestling.
Yeah, so that's how I'm going to go with Cyborg. What's your pick via Cyborg? I think Cyborg will win a decision. I don't think she's going to finish Holly. I think it's actually going to go to distance, yeah. I think Holly's going to be able to keep away quite a bit. I really do. It's going to be I think it's actually a pretty close fight. I think it's going to be Cyborg 3 rounds to 2. I really do. Holly Holm's going to do a very good job with her camp as far as point fighting. and counter striking because she'll be going forward too. You know what I mean? To get
You
this.
figure
points.
Holly would take like the last two or the first two, or just like random rounds here and there.
It'll be random. It'll be weird. Honestly, it's gonna be Holly 1 and 4, something like that. You know, that's how it's gonna go. I really think so.
That's interesting.
I really think that's so. And I think can Cyborg finish her? I don't know though. I mean, can she? Yeah, fuck yeah, she probably can.
She can finish anyway. In the world.
She can finish anyone. But I just have never seen Holly rocked yet. Like ever really rocked. You know what I'm saying?
She got a
Except
little
for
bit
those randomly
Jermaine.
after the bell bullshit, like ding and then pff, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like anyone can get rocked if you go ding and then fucking crunch someone with a goddamn right. So and then smile at the camera while you do it. Fuck
Right.
you, GDR.
Yeah. Man. So yeah, this is tough for me. I've been going back and forth all week. I'm despite having Holly Holm in fantasy, I'm actually also going Chris Cyborg. I have Holly Holm in fantasy because I feel like I need to make up points that I'm.
Oh no, and that's an amazing fucking
like,
slot to have in your fantasy squad.
Yeah. Well, and it was one of those things.
That's
where
why I
it's
like how it is for me and Barboza. I think Habib's probably gonna win, but if Barboza gets
Smart.
just like if Holly, because
Yeah.
dude, Holly.
Well, if they're
someone's-
gonna win, it's gonna be by something crazy. It's
Oh
not
no!
gonna be
Like imagine
yeah.
Holly Holm head kicks her and knocks her the fuck out. Like I mean, I doubt it, but you never know.
Yeah, and like who knows? Because like Chris.
Like dude, you get like 25. You get 30 points. You get and like Sam, you would get 30 goddamn points.
Well, I get half of whatever that
yeah,
is.
no,
but
you'd
yeah.
probably get about 25 fucking points.
Yeah,
yeah.
It'd be solid,
It'd be
but
chaos. Yeah.
though, like, and that's the thing with Chris is like Chris is so fucking tough though that
Yeah.
like she doesn't really get finished, and the last time she lost was like
She got
fucking
finished
15 years
Yeah.
ago.
And she got finished, but that was years ago.
Yeah, like 15.
Yeah.
It was a long fucking time. But she hasn't fought anyone near the quality of competition as Holly Holm.
Yeah, that's a good
That's
point.
just- that's
Very
just
good
fact.
point. Yeah. Who knows? We
Like,
don't know. Yeah.
She's fought some great fighters in Invicta, don't
like
get me
Gina
wrong.
Carano. I don't know how. I never watched her fight.
Gina was pretty good. She fought Julie Ked. Did she ever fight Julie? No. She fought Marlos Conan. She fought some killers back in the day. But no one near the level of Holly.
I'll say this real quick: if Holly does win, what does this say about her legacy? Beating like two of the people.
Everyone keeps
I
saying
know.
that.
That's why I
bullshit.
said that. I know.
Fuck
I just
that.
wanted to see that. I know. I'm gonna say fuck. I just really want to see what you say, and I know everyone kept saying.
You
that.
know
Fuck,
what
that's
I-
a stupid fucking question.
You know what I think is a far more relevant question? What does it say about Cyborg if she beats Holly Holm? Cyborg's starting to get pretty close to just being the best ever.
yeah.
Like,
oh no, I agree.
she is a knockout over Amanda Nunes away from being the best
and
ever.
speaking of Amanda Nunes, segue, you see what Dana said?
There's rumors.
That's
There's
next
some
fight.
feelers, yep.
You know, I am the champion. I want to fight you in or defend the weight
She always said she didn't want to fight Brazilians because they have a thing about that.
Fuck that, dude. She'll fight who the fuck.
But-
It's all about the money.
Yeah, and like
Being the
dude,
best in the world.
I would probably take Amanda Nunes over
I think
Cyborg.
I might, dude, because Amanda is fucking big, too.
She hits so fucking hard, and she is so much more technical. It would be crazy, but I mean, if Cyborg can get past Holly, then that kind of changes the way you have to think about Cyborg
What
striking.
about Megan Anderson? No, she's got a little ways.
I love Megan
She's got to
Anderson.
grow a little bit.
But I'd like to see Megan Anderson fight like Jermaine Duran first or somebody.
If,
Actually, no, that's a bad style matchup. But somebody, Cindy Dandois, something like that. Anyway, actually, shit, she lost to Cindy Dandois back in the day. I forgot.
I forgot, too, dude. Megan Anderson's like the biggest women's fighter in MMA. She's like 6 foot.
Yeah, she's
6'1".
way bigger
She's
than her.
insanely
Yeah,
huge.
she's huge. People
She
don't
could fight
realize.
Gabby Garcia. Just kidding. But I mean,
Kinda.
she'd probably fuck Gabby Garcia up.
Yeah, except she's not nearly heavy enough to stop
she's
any kind of
100 pounds
takedown.
less, yeah.
Yeah. she weighs less than the fucking grandma that was gonna fight her. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go Chris Cyborg. I would not be surprised if Holly Holm like is able to make this awkward as fuck to the point where Chris starts getting frustrated and runs into something stupid. However, Chris has not shown that recently, especially recently. She's really, I mean, she is not doing the same shit she used to do to like the, oh god, who's the Russian sumo chick? Dudieva. She's not running in like she did on Dudieva on chicks anymore, and I think if she did that to Holly Holm, I think she gets killed. I don't think that's what she does to Holly Holm. I think she kind of plays the slow game like she's been trying to lately in fights. I'm sure Perillo's game planning that exact thing. So I'm going to go Chris Cyborg. The only thing that really, like, the high kick is the only thing that really makes me nervous. That or Chris just waiting to counter too much on a counter fighter. Like, to where it turns in. I'm a little bit worried this fight might be Stephen Thompson, Tyron Woodley.
I was thinking about that too. Like,
And people aren't really talking about it, but they're both counter fighters. Like, I know Chris is a pressure counter fighter, but like, so is Thompson, kind
I can't
of.
understand it.
It might. Well, it could literally look like that fight where it's Cyborg walking forward, Holly circling,
Going, shush.
and neither
Shush.
of them
Yeah.
throwing anything. It could
Shush.
be that fight, or it could be like a lot of them like throwing near each other, but not actually committing too much to stand in the pocket because they don't want to. Because they don't want to like Cyborg doesn't want to step too hard in and get caught. So I'm actually kind of genuinely worried about that. However, if that does not happen,
One thing I'm looking forward to,
should be
by the
awesome.
way, is if Habib wins. I'm very much looking forward to his post-fight speech. with Joe Rogan.
100% bullshit.
Just like, who is Connor? It's all about Mr. Tony Ferguson.
Oh, get ready to hear the word chicken a lot. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not worried about McNuggets. I want Ferguson.
No, that's I think McNugget is
That was
Tony's.
Tony's. Yeah. No, but he'd be like.
Or actually, McNugget is Eugene Robinson's.
Well, no, because
Tony
Habib's
stole
already
it
been
from.
saying, I don't know who Conor McGregor is. Like, literally, they're asking him, and he's like, I'm all about Tony Ferguson right now.
He doesn't give a fuck. Which, good for him. I mean, fight whoever's relevant, and Conor sure as fuck is not.
Yeah, no.
So, yeah. Overall, fun fucking card, man. It's cool as shit. Will I go to a bar and not buy the pay-per-view on my own? Yeah, probably.
Will I probably miss the fight because I'll be in Ensenada, Baja California tomorrow? Possibly, unless I go to a bar and they have it on.
Yeah,
We'll see.
which is...
Be blessed.
Thank you.
Be Max Holloway blessed.
Which is possible, dude. There's a big enough card that you probably find a sports bar with
Oh, I'm
it on.
sure someone will have it on. Go to some, like, Senior Frogs or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, somewhere that has, like, a fucking cheap beers and are, like, a sports bar. I bet they would have it on. Especially since they get way better prices down there.
Oh, yeah.
So, or worse, because if you buy it down there on Fight Pass, I bet it would be, like, fucking $5 to buy.
I probably wouldn't even have my phone on, to be honest.
That's true.
My data will get fucked.
Oh, yeah, you have data. I don't... Yeah.
Something.
But anyway, we'll go ahead and wrap it there. But I'm excited for this card, man.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So, is there anything you wanted to plug? You got anything coming up other than Ensenada?
Nope.
Sweet. Well, this week I did post on the MMA community forums our big list of 2017 MMA podcasts. I also posted it on our website, so if you go to our website and go to the articles section, you can see all of the podcasts I am currently subscribed to, and a quick, like, brief blurb about each one and what they're about. So if you're looking for a big list of podcasts that you weren't sure about, check that out. And, yeah, man, other than that, I don't know, the regs. Hit us up on Twitter, hit us up on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe, all that bullshit. Loved hearing from people on Twitter recently. They've been cool as shit. Especially guys like MMA on the Rocks and all of y'all.
Just reminds me, I need to do a flare bet if I can.
There you go.
Late tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time I have left.
For who?
I don't know.
Ooh,
Maybe Habib.
I was going to say a Habib time flare bet sounds about right. It'd be fun. So we will go ahead and wrap it here. But yeah, hit us up. Let us know what MMA podcast we should be listening to. Let us know what we're missing out on. Last week we did put up our Sound of Violence 2017 MMA Podcast Awards. So if there's any awards that you think we fucking should have given out and that we totally fucked up on, please let us know. And I will bring it up on the show next week. So it was cool hearing from everybody. Big shouts out to Judo Bill Tyler, who gave us a skip pick for the week, which actually was the same one I already had loaded, so that worked out well. And he's also killing it out there and for Kangaroos MMA. So,
Oh, yeah.
cool, man. We will wrap it here. But, Chris, how you want to sign off?
Well, I have to go rip ass, so I better end this now because I don't want to fucking drown you out right quick. So.
Well, I was going to say, y'all have a good New Year, and we'll see you in 2018.
But yeah, real shit though, before I shit my pants, everyone have a really good New Year and 2018. Start to the 2018.
You gonna British job yourself right now?
Yeah, right? Looking on Big Brown in my pants.
I nailed it. That's fucking brilliant. All right, on that note, we're killing it.
You guys have a great New Year's Eve, a great start to your new year. Don't get too fucked up and show up to your new job or a new start to New Year all too wasted, as a lot of people do.
That's right.
So.
Also, I don't want to hear about your keto diet if you're doing one.
Yeah, the whole New Year, new me. Be real. Like, all that really means is you're going to just be drinking a little less.
Yeah, and let's be real. That doesn't do anything for anyone. So we will wrap this here, but hit us at SOVpod.com, TSOVpod on Twitter. Email the show, ChrisTheSoundOfViolence.com. Soundofviolence.com is our website. And until next time, everybody, go do something decadent. Have a good 2018. We out. Bye.